Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fan Cams post our round 14 game against Melbourne at the G. Unfortunately, it was a different story this time around. I think I pretty much got what I expected. We went down by, what was it in the end, 45 points. Could have been worse in a way, but also it was a weird day for some specific players, just well off the mark, a whole handful of them, and not a whole lot of them were in particularly good form. But, I mean, shout out to Will Setterfield. He was terrific all day, following on from his really, really good form last week. This is who he is. He takes great pride in wearing the jumper every time he goes out there, whether it's in the VFL or in the AFL, and I respect it so greatly. There's something different about the guys who play that way, because it doesn't matter the circumstance, the scoreboard, it is just unconditional effort. And he's limited, don't get me wrong, and he's not the fastest player, but sometimes your pride and your will gets you across the further than what some people would get across the line, just going out there with sheer pure talent, trying to fall back on that. So couldn't be more impressed with him. I thought Sharp, I mean, it looked like he hadn't missed a beat, and that is very, very exciting for me. My one lasting source of joy. One badge bro is back. I mean, also far out, Archie Roberts, the shoulder. You'd think that's his season done. It's just, can we go a game without getting an injury? I'd like to go into the bye confident that we have it, that we're not going to get an injury, but I'm not quite sure that our track record in that department is going to hold us in good stead. Anyway, did I say hello, everyone? I think I did, but hope you're all doing well. How are you feeling? It's now officially the bye. You can all take a break. Oh, I'm looking forward to the bye because of what I do. But how are you all feeling? Are you ready for a break? Oh, Joe's falling asleep partway through the last quarter. I think that answers my question, yes. Like I said, he's not a defender. I don't get the persistence. I'm going to probably be on my own little island on this one, but I didn't think he was that bad today. He won a couple of 3-on-1s, 2-on-1s, gave away a couple of the free kicks, which he's got to clean up, but I certainly don't think he was anywhere near our worst. Hello, TL. McGrath comes in for Roberts, especially with Merritt playing half back now. Yeah, they popped Merritt into the middle. Was it in the third quarter when things were going a bit sideways? I don't think that's the answer, but here we are. Oh, and Langford did a quad. Langford did a quad. I didn't see that. Was that in-game? Just catching up. Ooh. I know, Jez, our Twixlow medalist. It's painful. It's very painful. Apparently the grass is not greener on the other side, is it? I think Sardis will want to delete this game from the history books. He'll want this one back. But he also had I've noticed a strapped shoulder, which I saw him cradling a couple of times throughout the game. So I wonder if that, perhaps he was sore. Don't know. Tavet, they get 2 free kicks equal to 2 goals. We have 5 free kicks in a row, get nothing. That was the difference. We don't know how to maximize our opportunities. Yeah, I mean, not just from free kicks, but even getting it up the ground, off turnover from a kick in, get it to the forward half and turn it over. It's no coach, no team can do well if your players are consistently doing that. We did retain the ball much better than we have been. I actually think the best. Did I read a stat? We have a retention rate of 46.4 inside our forward 50, and today it was 53%. And that's well above average, which AFL average, which is 48.7. So I'm calling that the Huss factor. Small forwards, get all the small forwards at all the costs because it makes a damn difference. It really does. Hello, Rinsmeister.
Hi. Not as good as last week.
Can I ask you what your name is? Because I feel silly calling you that.
I'm Tim. You can call me Tim.
Tim. Nice to meet you, Tim.
Tim. Hi there.
Again.
And sorry, Fiona, I didn't mean to be incognito. That's just what my Gmail alias is. So, look, I try to extract something positive, every week, but today's was a bit more difficult. I thought, the footy gods definitely hate us. The number of behinds and posters we had today. When you go, just can't a little bit of luck, especially in the third quarter when we had that, bit of momentum, and we always seem to have something unfortunate happen to snuff it out. But insult to injury with Roberts, and not only does Cozzy duck and cause the injury, he gets a free kick and a goal into the bargain, and that sort of summed it up, perfectly. So,
just a bit of salt in the wound.
Yeah. But look, I'm glad we rallied in the second half. The first half was terrible, and we make it so hard for ourselves when we start so poorly. It's hard enough when we're on even footing, but if you give them 4 or 5 goal head start and then try and reel it in, that's and we knew the weather was going to be a factor. So when there was no rain at the start, that's when you needed to be right in the game or building a lead and not trying to. But no, so we get a break now. Hopefully, even though Roberts is out, we'll get a bunch back after the bye. Kako will hopefully be back, and
Kako.
Yeah.
But it feels like we'll get a couple back, but now Roberts and Langford go on the injury list. It's just we just cannot shave this injury list down. We just keep adding to it. Why are we so good at this? I'd like to be good at something else.
Yeah. Look, it is the Essendon curse. We do feel just that we're unlucky, but I feel we're unlucky. I always feel that we get a raw deal with the umpires, but I don't know how much that's just losing makes you, selective memory on the poor decisions and so forth. But I think it's one where we can all do with a breather, and hopefully do a bit of no rest for the players. They should be out practicing their goal kicking.
Goal kicking, handballing, short kicking, all of it.
But I took solid. Setters had a really good game and built on last week. Hopefully he's cementing his place and doing enough to get another contract. I think he's good value for the team. And a proper big body, mature mid. Help take the pressure off Roby and let Roby go at the pace he needs. Roby's been a little down the last couple of weeks, but he's always in there. He's always in there trying. But I thought, Setterfield was probably best on ground for Essendon today, in my view. I don't know how you saw it. I know you
by a mile, Tim.
Okay, I know you got a soft spot for Setters. I have a soft spot.
I do, but also with the blinkers off, he was
up in the disposal, and he got a goal, and that's unusual for him to actually hit the scoreboard. So, but Day Wicks, I still got. He reminds me of Durham in his first season. Where I think Durham got better and better. Over time, he gives it. His heart is fully in it. He's giving 100%, and that was Durham still does, but that was. He's got the sort of spirit that you want in your players, and he'll get better, over time. I thought we had far fewer clangers this week than last week, but it was more poor decision. It's the choosing the wrong option, not looking. But no. So, are you having a break you give a week or
Most
two off.
definitely. Yeah, most definitely. I've been
go
just
skiing.
crossing out the no, not chasing more cold. No, I've been crossing off the dates on the calendar. And just nothing crazy. Just a few days up at the beach. So that'll be nice. But the main thing is, I just want to turn off all social media, switch off completely. I don't want to read about James Hird. I don't want to read about the coaching search. I don't want to read about the latest which journo can full of shit themselves out of the other. And like, it's just I need a social media break as well.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you looking forward to having a break from watching Essendon for a week? Or
Yeah. I'm the eternal optimist. I know it'll turn around eventually, and every week I hope that that'll be the week that things start to turn. But hopefully we get some good news after the bye. Hear what's happening on the coaching front and get some clarity there, and get a few of the players back. I think Angus Clark should be back, and a couple of the other fan favourites that have been on the long-term recovery will be back. I don't know when's Wright due back. See,
when is Wright due back?
we certainly need him.
Look, today,
Brian was a bit disappointing,
Yeah,
and he's certainly not to the level he was pre-injury yet, which is not surprising. He hasn't played for 12 months, but I just want to see him do more around the ground. He'll be competitive in the ruck. He won't get smashed in the actual hit-out contest, but he was doing way more around the ground prior to being injured, taking marks, going up forward, kicking goals. He's not really contributing outside of, at least it doesn't seem to me that he's contributing.
Yeah, he did a lot of spectating today too, I think, Tim. I mean, I would stop and spectate Max Gawn too, but he's got a job to do. He's not allowed to do that.
Yeah, and I'm sure that it's a psychological wound as much as a physical wound too. That trusting the knee and being a ruck is probably one of the more demanding physically on your body, and you're jumping and leaping and crashing into each other constantly. And Max Gawn is going to be a fairly daunting prospect there. That's why Wright was so good. He was fearless in that, and
he's 4 to 5 weeks away. He's listed as 4 to 5 weeks away.
Okay. So, but well,
too long.
It'll be a long second half of the season, and I'm in two minds. Do I want to see us win, and not get the draft pick, or I'm happy with progress, but I'm also don't want their spirits to be broken. They've got to get enough reward for.
So let me ask you, how are you measuring progress? Like today, this is a question for you, Chad, as well. Today, do you measure today as progress, or how are you measuring that sentiment, I guess?
I guess I'm looking at how many players play badly, what percentage are playing badly, which individuals have gone better from week to week and so forth, or who's just staying steady and so forth. At the moment, this week was no discernible progress. I didn't think we were dramatically worse than last week. We're worse on the scoreboard, but in some ways I thought, like I said, we didn't have all those. Merritt didn't do 11 turnovers this week, so it wasn't as blatant. It was more Melbourne are a better team than Carlton, and therefore you expect them to win by more than Carlton, and to be more difficult to match up again. So I guess I'm looking. The things I'm wanting to see better is better connection, kicking into the forward line.
Yep.
Better decision making, and probably the last aspect on that is just a consistency of effort, and and the swarm when we see the 5 players converge on the on the ball, and that's sort of like they've got to know the game plan, and they've got to know, and that's sort of like the footy smarts thing. You can't all converge. So if we're turning over lots of players, it's hard to get that cohesion that lets you avoid that, and it'd be a mixed message like, you've got to go hard at the ball and you've got to try, and so they're all trying to put in maximum effort, so they're all, not wanting to be seen as a spectator, But it's like, if he's got, if I know the capability of my teammate, I know he's got that covered, or I know when he needs help, or and we haven't got that, that level of maturity yet. But we'll come back after the buy-in. New team. We'll hit the
okay.
If
running. You say so.
Re-energize. We'll have the coach decision pending, and with a bit more clarity, we'll know what the process is, and we'll drop off the media radar.
Do you think we'll? Wishful thinking. I think that is, Tim. But do you think what was I going to ask you? Your thoughts on Durham's game?
Not as good as last week.
His stats look okay, but I don't know. I didn't think he wasn't
impactful.
Overly impactful, yeah. He wasn't really hurting the opposition like he was with his touches last week, I thought.
Yeah, so I didn't think I didn't think he was bad. Just not impactful. And I was looking for Harry Jones. I've got a soft spot for him, and it was a bit like the Redmond last week, where it's like I didn't see him. He didn't muck anything up, but it was like, I didn't see him. Taking marks or anything. I wasn't even sure whether he was playing on the wing or playing forward. To be fair,
so, I think he was playing that high half forward role. High half forward role. Outside of that beautiful candy cell and kick to Sharp, which was an exceptional kick to get our kind of scoring going, he did not do much else.
Yeah, that was
probably needs time though, I guess.
He does need time. He's had a pretty major injury and been out for a long while. I still think his best position is the wing. But we've got lots of wingers. So,
do we? I'm not sure we have any very, very, very good wingers. But anyway, we'll try everyone in there.
Everyone gets a go on the wing. So,
true. Yeah.
So you've got Cox, who they don't know where to put, and
I thought he was okay today.
Oh, Cox was good today. I thought, but in terms of, if you said what's Cox's position, what's his natural position on the team, I go, I've no idea. So
I hope the next coach figures it out and just lets him develop in a position.
Yeah, like he's got attributes that are good in lots of different positions and stuff, but he's had no continuity and no consistency, and the team hasn't either. So we've got to get players on the park and keep them on the park.
Yes, very well said. Thank you so much, Tim, for joining us for a chat. Good to see you again. Take it easy. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you. See you later.
Cheers.
Bye. All right, let's have a chat to Hugh. Hello, Hugh.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I can't hear you.
3 dots?
Just wait.
Someone type it in the chat, please. Every time I think about this.
I'll come back. Just wait.
Okay. Every time I think to do it, I think, nah, I'll be right, and I don't actually put up make a graphic to help people out. So my bad. All right. In the meantime, let's have a chat to Dave. Hello, Dave. Don't tell me you can't hear me. I can't hear you.
I can hear fine. I just thought I'd do that quickly. Sorry.
What is going on? I think something in the university said that I need to be punked because you're the second person in 2 weeks who is.
I was going to do it longer. Sorry, I was going to do it longer as well, but then I thought, no, I get too excited when I try and do that to people, and I just.
I would have kept going. Just so you know, I think everyone knows me now that. But if you continue to do this to me, I'm not going to trust the lot of you. These is like the boy
already had the sign written.
The boy who cried wolf.
That's why I already had the sign written. And I thought, anyway.
Onto the game.
Onto the game. Yeah, no, it was a bit poor. I was. You were talking about Durham before with Tim, and he just had no impact on the game. I just didn't see much from him. And yeah, there was a few players like that today. But the good work, obviously, Setters was just fantastic. I just loved seeing what he did, and he kind of showed up a lot of people, like he did last week as well, where he was, defending a lot more players than just his own player. I think he did that again today, and I'll be interested when I watch the replay to see that. But the team played a lot better in the second half. I don't know what was said, but they showed a lot more intent to kind of go forward in that second half. In that first half, it was just they were moving it too quickly when they needed to slow up, and when they slowed the game up, that's when they needed to move it too quickly. So some of the players up the field just didn't know whether to go forward to meet the ball or kind of go back to have the ball kicked over their heads. So Sardis is kicking. I mean, we all saw that one in the first quarter where he just missed Caddy from on the wing there from about, I don't even know if it was a 15-metre kick, but he just missed him completely. And Merritt as well, when Merritt was kicking forward at stages during the game, and that Merritt obviously has the skills to be able to improve that straight away. So, and I thought he did. But at one stage in that second quarter, we were at like 22% kicking efficiency for the quarter, or 29%, I think it was. And then we obviously improved because we ended up, I think it was in the 70s we ended up for the game. But it was, Farrow again continues to impress all the kids, basically. When Roby kicked that goal, like the amount of emotion that he let out when he was banging the ground and stuff, and I thought that was so good. And Sharp was just, again, everywhere. So I'm, really impressed with him just to be able to come back. And that was a lot of the energy that he's obviously been showing on the training field has come out straight away with him playing. But again, he kind of went missing, but, the kids you kind of expect it to. Who else? Reed in the forward line, I thought was interesting in that last quarter. But
I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of that. I know they tried to do something, but they benched Mackay for the entire time. I didn't see. Well, he didn't come back on, and then Langford apparently went down with the quad, and they moved. That's why they moved Reed back there at the end of the third. But okay. I don't know, like I didn't mind it last week when, we're on the clock, it was a goal down, put him down there to shake shit up. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think in a team that's lacking already chemistry and synergy, especially in the forward line, I didn't think it did much good.
Yeah. But no, hopefully we don't get any injuries over the break. That could, depending on what the players' plans are and stuff, I wouldn't be letting them drive. I wouldn't be letting them go in a car for car accidents, and don't get on a plane or anything like that. So just stay at home and move all your coffee tables away from the couch and play PlayStation for the whole week. So, it's with two more players out. I suppose we'll get a few players back over the next few days, over the next kind of week, but tough watch it was.
Yeah, it felt a bit disjointed. The effort was better obviously after half time, but it's I'm looking
forward to the break.
It's rinse and repeat. Oh yeah, good. Glad to hear.
I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to just not, there's plenty of sport on over the next 2 weeks and stuff. So there's some decent other games are going to be quite good, but just not having to, not so much worry about watching Essendon play, but just worried about how they're going to play because we really don't know. And it'd be good to just switch off from everything. The media will probably start up tonight about the board making a decision about what's going to go on when Essendon's clearly said they're going to do it after the bye, but they'll start with that now. And it will just become painful again. So, I'm going to put the earplugs in, I think, and watch a bit of watch a bit of boring soccer and some basketball. I think so.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm more looking forward to the emotional break, not having to ride the roller coaster for 1 week. And then, as you say, the fallout from whatever happened. So the media will still write stories about us, I guess, but
I will.
Learning to take that with a grain of salt these days. And I think that would be good advice for everybody, because if you ever needed evidence to do that, the reporting that Andrew Welsh has already picked the coach and already has a front runner, that should tell you how full of shit some of these media people are. In fact, most of them, because they know what the club wants them to know in a way. And when they don't get news and when they get crickets, they make it up. Exactly right.
And they make it up. They make it up to get a reaction out of the club, to get information back.
Correct.
But if they don't have those relationships with those people in the club to be able to get information to begin with, then shut the fuck up. But that'll never happen.
No, unfortunately. But I mean, it's disappointing to see that they all climb on board just so, they're on an inaccurate story to be the first who spoke about it. But the story is inaccurate to begin with. Anyway, let's not talk about the media. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate you joining us. Have a lovely break and enjoy not watching Essendon. Thank you.
Okay.
Catch ya. All right, let's try Hugh again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hallelujah. Oh, no.
Technically, technologically challenged, but it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like our midfield. I'm not up to it.
Starting off with the bang. I love it.
There's nothing really positive to say. I know we're injured and we're young, but God damn it. There's no predictability in what we're doing. We're not predictable to each other. The use of ball by foot is beans. Some players are just checked out. Zach Merritt doesn't really want to be there. I kind of don't blame him. So, when's it going to turn for us? It's been how many years now? What did you think of the game?
Your internet connection is dropping in and out. I don't know if it looks like you're somewhere sunny. So not in Melbourne, that's for sure.
It's kind of raining actually, but yeah.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Here we go. That should be better.
Okay. A bit like you, just I'm not overly surprised. The skill errors continue to just be a huge bugbear, because I can't even get a semblance on if it's a new system, if it's going to work, because we cannot execute basic skills in space with no pressure. So I just don't see how anybody
can. I feel like it's not work rate or work ethic. I feel like it's just basic skill errors. They don't know where to run, where to position themselves. It's I feel like the club has failed the players. I don't think it's really on the players at all. Well, to a degree, but the third quarter was all right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wish we could kick straight, but
we generate the opportunities and then can't put any scoreboard pressure on.
Yeah, the amount of work we have to put in for each goal is
each score.
Significant. But I like Farrow, Roby. They're both, they're going to be beasts. I feel bad for Caddy. It wasn't really his conditions today. He needs a goal-kicking coach over the summer.
He does so much work on it too.
Ben McKay was good. I feel bad for some of the tweets I've been tweeting about him, so thankfully my account's...
Are you here for penance? Is this confession?
Yeah, it is.
Fair enough. Happy for the. I can't absolve you of anything, but
it is good because he looked miserable, in that Anzac Day game. So it's good that he's doing something. Redmond was good in the third quarter.
Yeah, he came alive. He was very good.
Dersma, I'm not sold on, really.
Oh, okay.
He has moments, but I don't know. Setterfield was a beast. I've been so wrong about him. I didn't understand why we kept him. And I was the only one. Everyone's like, no, he's good. I'm like, no, he's like just a run-of-the-mill player, but he was great today. Some of the umpiring decisions were bullshit, but like, I mean, I complain about that every week. So, well, we're not going to lose next week, so that's pretty good. Hell yeah. And then we play North Melbourne, don't we?
We do. Back at Marvel.
My best.
Jeez, feels like we haven't played at Marvel for a long time, and I know this because I love the place. I don't think we've played there for a while.
Yeah, I hate North Melbourne so much.
I know you do.
Oh, their fans are just bad people. Yeah, no, they're not decent human beings. I hope, we can't lose that game, but we probably will. Yeah, I feel bad for the players having to go out like on national TV each week and lose.
Yeah,
because I feel like they're putting in. It's just, man, what was Brad Scott doing over the summer? What the fuck was he? Like we're so easy to move the ball against. Like other teams just move it up like so, like slowly and just easy. I don't get it. My dumb ass doesn't get it. If I was smarter, like more tactically minded, I'd probably get it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want this season to be over.
Yeah, how depressing is that? We're only halfway through the season, essentially. 10. What have we got? 10 more games, 9 more games, and we're wishing for the finish line. That is not how I thought I'd be feeling at this point at the start of the season.
I knew it was going to be a struggle. I didn't know it was going to be this bad. Each time it's like, okay, just don't be 100 points. Today at the start, it looked a bit
grim. Yeah.
I like Nick Cox. He's another one I've posted bad. Like, I haven't always been the biggest fan of him.
Get it all out. Get all the apologies out.
he kicked a great goal. That was a great goal he kicked. God, I forget who plays for it. Zach Reed, he's a work. I don't like him in the forward line. Just leave him in the back line. Don't.
Yeah, he was playing pretty well up to that point on Van Bruin.
And he needs to put on a bit of weight. Can I talk about? Yeah, I don't like Harrison Petty or Jake Melksham There's nothing to do with that.
That was so random. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Sardis, his use of the ball by foot can be a bit not ideal at times. I know it was wet. I know like he was under pressure, but I don't have any solutions to the problems. I've just got grievances.
Well, that's why we're here. You don't have to have the solutions. We're not paid enough to have the solutions. In fact, we're paid nothing. In fact, we give money. So we don't have to have the solutions. The people getting paid the money to have the solutions need to fix the problems. We're here to, as you say, get out our grievances.
Oh yeah, and Dyson Sharp, he's the one I forgot to talk about. He's a beast. He's done. Yeah, none of those players. Roby, Farrow, and the one I just mentioned, they can't leave. It's just after like Joe Danaher left and Zach Merritt left, anytime there's like a decent player who can kick a ball 15 meters, I'm like, you have to stay.
I love that you said when Zach Merritt left.
When he asked,
that's where we're going. It's okay.
Oh yeah, Sam Durham, he should be captain. Why isn't he captain?
Oh. He's only just got into the leadership group. And I think we need to understand that captaincy is more than just turning up on the day, tossing the coin and running through a pack at 1,000,000 miles an hour. They have to do a ton of media, a ton of meetings, a ton of sponsorship events, a ton of member events. They have to be
out for that.
They have to be intellectually switched on 100% of the time. There's a lot more to it. No, of course not. Absolutely not. I'm just not sure he's like Merritt hated that part of it.
Oh, really?
Perhaps why he didn't excel.
He looks very apathetic when he does media, doesn't he? Like he's really phoning it in. No, he worked hard today. It was just We should have just let him go to Hawthorn and gotten the draft picks. I mean, I know Andrew Welsh said a strong decision, but just get the fucking draft picks. Just get the draft picks and hope.
I think we're going there this off season, so we're good. So are you looking forward to the break?
Yeah,
I'll leave you with.
Yeah, I am, and we need to beat North Melbourne when we get back. Those.
Yeah. Okay. So you want what's it turn out to be, like a 15-day? Will it be a 15 days? I think in between when we play. I hope
the players get on it. They completely deserve it to just party the next fucking 2 weeks.
Dave wants them not to leave the house, and you want them to party. Okay, maybe a happy medium.
Also, I'll finish on like a negative thing. D's fans are underrated. The biggest like assholes in the league. Like people think Collingwood or Carlton or what? No. Yeah. So really? I'm not leaving with any insights or anything. I'm like these guys. I'll leave that with you, and I'll get back to washing my bed sheets.
Doing. Washing your bed sheets. All right. Thank you, Hugh. Good to see you. Have a great afternoon. Bye. Well, we went all the places in that chat. They're my favourite kinds of chat. Oh, yeah, Murray's Place. It was our lowest score of the year. Ew. Yeah. It's Peter Wright is the difference. You can all take a drink. I know the game you're playing. All right, let's have a chat to Andrew. Hey, Andrew.
What a game. What a day. I'm going to give you some stats. You might not, you'll have them up there already. Roby, 66 metres gain. Durham, 90 metres gain. Jones, 86 metres gain. Sharp, 130 metres gain. Wick, 157 metres gain. They're the engine. That's the engine. That's nearly the engine room of the side. In running at midfield, basically, or take Jones out of that, but the other four basically had a very poor running game today. They weren't, and that was in the first half. Even though they did good things, I'm not going to be critical of what some of the things they did. There was not enough pressure from that group of players on their opponents, which then affected the game itself. Setterfield, you're going to give him a medal for where he's been. He is 637 metres. He burst his boiler today for us.
He did.
And then Farrow, a halfback flanker, 521 metres. Now, if they can run gut running like that, either these guys here, they're flat and tired, they need a rest, which I think probably because they're young players, all of these guys, and you're going to give them a bit of slack, and it's going to have to be team management of those players to make sure they're at their peak. It's like a racehorse. You can't run a 12 months. A good racehorse can't run every week and win every week. It's going to be spelled. It's going to have a rest. It's going to be freshened up. Put out in the paddock. Have a bit of grass, not weed, but grass. Basically,
thanks for that clarification.
Make sure they don't get into that area.
We don't need our players to be more relaxed. We need them to be more on their toes, please.
And why is it? Tell me, why is it? No, I watched it from home today. I didn't want to go. I knew we were going. I thought the weather was going to get worse, and I didn't want to sit up on the third level. Why is it that when we have an inspirational speaker, okay, we had Simon Madden today. I don't know if you watched it from home or people on this channel watched it from home. He gave a very moving, very powerful speech. Long did the same thing in the Dreamtime, and we came out as flat at attack. Why? Can anybody answer the reason why? Can you give me a reason? Please.
Well, I will say it's not a magic wand, and in terms of an inspirational speech prior, I also think it shouldn't take an inspirational speech for these players to come out at the first bounce and perform with 100% intensity, or close to it, 90% intensity. So I don't really 100% subscribe to the inspirational pre-game rev ups and all of that personally.
Is it old-fashioned?
Is it old-fashioned? I don't know. I don't think it can be put down to how well you're revved up prior to the game, or even the warm-up, or our warm-up. You know how I think it was Dermy was chastising about is that the word? Chastising? Chastising?
Yeah, that's a good word.
Something like that. You know what I mean?
Crack at us. Yeah,
about it. I don't really believe that myself. There could be something in it. I could be wrong. I'm only speaking of my own opinion, but they certainly reacted really well to it. I thought they had a spirited reaction after the speech. You know, better than what they did again to Michael Long's one. That's for sure.
That's true. I saw them get around him and pat him, and they were more enthusiastic. Skill level. Now, Fiona, have you played sport when you were younger?
I played netball at a very high level. Yep.
Or basketball. Okay. Skill level. At under 12s, under 10s, under 14s, you learn some basic skills about how to handle the ball, how to handball, how to kick, how to shepherd, how to tackle, how to mark, all those basic skills. When you get to the pinnacle of your career in sport, there's nowhere else for AFL footballers to go. This is it. This is the best level of football, supposedly, in Australia. These are the best couple of hundred players in the land. And these players at Essendon are supposed to be within that group. When they can't mark, when they can't handball, when they can't kick, when they can't deliver the ball properly, not under pressure, basically out in the open, well, there you go. We have to get something. We have to address this. Has to be addressed.
It's when a player of Zach Merritt's caliber is streaming through the middle and he's very little pressure, that his Melbourne opponent, he's done well to get off his opponent. Yep. His Melbourne opponent is 5 meters behind him, no pressure, nothing to worry about in that very moment, and he kicks it directly to a Melbourne defender. That is all in your head. That is not a skill problem. That is not you're under a significant pressure problem. That is all in your head.
And that's where we had to get the proper people in to help. Well, he's gone. Look, and he was one of our better players today. You know, like people say he switched off, and I give him a bit of a tick. This is one of his better games for us.
It's better than last week.
Yeah,
better than last week.
Yeah. Not where he should be, but a lot better. Now, maybe he got embarrassed because Farrow and a few other players were showing him up, and he had to show the way a little bit. Maybe that might have clicked him a little bit, saying, well, they can't do everything. But I also thought that Cox, he's going to be an interesting player. You know, like he played ruck in the reserves, didn't he, a couple of times in the ruck or on the ball or around the ground a bit?
Definitely. He didn't specifically play in the ruck, but he took some ruck hit outs definitely in the VFL, around the ground mostly. Not too many centre bounces, but definitely around the ground. Now,
with his confidence, if he plays on the wing and gets a bit of open space and starts to run, I think he's like a big, he's very tall, very lean, tall machine. If he can get out in the open a bit, rather than being caught up on the boundary a lot, I'm not sure if he's leading to the boundary or they're kicking it to the boundary for him. I'm not sure which one comes first. But he needs to get further into the ground a little bit so he can get those legs running and give him, and to deliver the ball. Because I think there's a player there, if he can hold fit, he's developing. Again, another one. I think Perkins had a quiet game for my liking. I don't think Jones, well, what did we do with Jones, the Jones boy? 3 kicks. I think got 3 kicks for the match. No influence on the game. It's very concerning.
But this is
He
what
can point
Edwards
his
did.
finger.
This is what Edwards did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
same kind
thing.
of game.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's the position, that
Yeah.
high half forward role. You're not really tethered to the goal square and playing waiting for the ball to come on your head. You don't know whether you're leading or I just don't think they know the role or they know what's being asked of them.
Yeah, well, and it's probably as simple as that. It's probably about coaches not being able to get the right message to them about how to play, or they're not training that for that position. They've been plonked into a position, say, well, you can fill that position and see how you go. You got the skills, just do it your own thing. Again,
I'm also not entirely convinced on him either. So
no,
TBC,
it's a situation we're going to have to find out. He's been around for a number of years now. Now, you can be a very nice person, okay, but if you don't produce, that Fitzgerald from Melbourne, he played Essendon reserves, didn't he?
Did he?
Is he the same one, Fitzgerald for Essendon? He played in our VFL a couple of years ago. I'm not sure.
Can't confirm that.
Can someone confirm that?
Maybe someone smarter in the chat can confirm that for me. I don't think so. It doesn't ring a bell, but
that name Fitzgerald, maybe it was a different Fitzgerald.
Got picked up in the mid-season draft.
That's right. But I thought he played in our reserves, but maybe not. He looked like someone reminded me a couple of years ago, but he didn't play in the midfield. He played a different position. But anyway,
Frank, there you go. Coming through with the answers. That was very quick.
There you go.
Frank. Well done.
There you go. Thanks, Frank. Yes,
Thanks,
he
Frank.
did. Well, there you go. And how old is he? 21?
I think he'd be mature aged, yeah.
He looks mature age, but I'm not sure.
Mature age. 21 is mature age. I love that. Yeah. Let's have a look. Joel Fitzgerald. He looks like a baby, 22. Yep.
Oh, there you go. Another one. I don't understand about our development and how we don't persevere with. I know they're in the system for a couple of years, and more recently Williamstown. Yeah. But they go away from the club and they get better and they get picked up. Look, great. Good luck to him. Well done. We are the how you call it? We're the nursery for AFL stars for other clubs. That's what we are. We just
we're just giving it a bit of exposure. Get some runs in their legs.
Yeah. What can you do? It astounds me because, but anyway, look, we can't cry over spilt milk. He's gone and that's it. And I hope he has a great career for Melbourne, Although, and then, so that's that. The draft is I'm working on the, what we can do with the draft, looking at the stats, looking at what we're going to do with the draft and all the rest of it. But I don't think the coaching decision's been made, as you pointed out. It's a lot of clickbait. I think in actual fact, as a conspiracy type person, which I love being into, I think Walshy's done this on purpose because everything was pointing to the herd factor, herd to the coach. There was there's no fair process. So he's just put a spanner in the works. His preferred candidate is coach now. So I think there will be a fair process. I think Longmire is still my favourite, only because of the connection, and we need a very strong hand. It's either him or Herd. I don't think anybody else can coach us. The Herd factor would be to get that off our chest and give him a couple of years and see how he goes. The Longmires are more. I'm not sure if Longmire wants to be in the long haul for 5 or 6 years, trying to rebuild the side. He maybe he seems pretty strong, but it's going to take a couple of years for us to actually rebuild the list to where it should be. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in mid-year, if anything. Like they might drag this out a bit longer, to see what happens to the other clubs. But that's me. I've got nothing else to say other than second half was very good. We all need a rest. We all need to, get some sun, get some, and hopefully we can come back refreshed and beat North Melbourne. Oh, one thing about North Melbourne, my daughter's boyfriend's a North Melbourne supporter, and he's one of the nicest people I've met. And hopefully after They've been together since 14 out of 25. So 11 years together. I'm hoping they get some engagement ring on him in the next 1 or 2 years. So I'll tell you what, 11 years. He's the nicest young person I've met.
Good.
And my brother-in-law, who's a Melbourne supporter, is a very nice person as well.
Okay.
So I'm just balancing it up.
There's
good and bad in every club. And we've got some really bad supporters as well.
Absolutely, we do. They're all in my DMs abusing me. Don't worry, I know that too.
Yeah. So you have a good break.
Yeah, thank you.
And go Bombers. And I hope everybody keeps safe. That's the main thing. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay away from the coffee tables.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll talk to you during the week. Bye.
Okay.
Oh gosh, it's going to be. Why do I feel like this week is not even going to feel like a break, or the next week and a half? Because technically we're not really back till the week after. Hello, Muzz. Nice of you to join us. You were there today, and you're soaked. Yeah, painful. I feel you. It was like the Freo game. Got home with wet feet, frizzy hair. Hey, Void, Merritt tanking. Do you guys have to let him go for less? I think we'll definitely end up letting him go for less. He was better today, though. I think there was a small amount of pride left, I think. Small, ever so slightly small amount of pride, because even Dean Solomon alluded to the fact that he was unhappy with his disposal and execution last week. I think, he would have wanted to bounce back. TL, if we don't get a decent offer for Merritt, just keep him again and he can go for free next year. Nah, we've got to offload him at all costs. And we'll just prepare for the pain and the frustration of the unders that we have to take for him, in my opinion. Xavier, Kelly put his hand up, got to talk to him at least. I'm still not against a first-timer. Last 15 premiership coaches have been first-timers. But if we do, of course, the caveat to that is that they have a senior assistant with them. If it's a Kelly, a Skipworth, an Emright, a senior assistant with them. Even Stephen King, who's Melbourne's coach now, first-timer, he's got Alan Richardson, who has been there, done that, as senior assistant for him. So it would have to be a Longmire, a Hinkley, a Simpson, who, is there to be a senior assistant for Kelly or Enright or Skipworth, in my opinion, of course. Bitsy, Jones' foot went backwards when he injured it. I feel for the fella. I was sitting close to that fence when he did the injury. Yeah. It takes some time to get back into it, but I think it's the position as well. It's a tricky position, particularly when, we don't move the ball well. Edwards struggled in the same role and people were calling for his head 2 weeks ago. It's a bit easier to get away with in the VFL, and he played it quite well on last weekend when he kicked 5. He got up the ground really well and impacted and was that conduit between the lines, but it's a bit harder in the AFL. Aurora, I still can't believe you think you're good. I know. I'm just in my delulu, as they say it. The young kids say delulu, delusional. But I'm gonna stay out on that branch of delusion because I really do need the emotional detachment for at least a week. But I know this is going to sound crazy, guys, so just bear with me. But in a way, that media report that Andrew Welsh has already selected and has the front runner in Solomon, that actually was very good for my mental health, for my anxiety, because it was so full of shit. It was so inaccurate, the report, so far-fetched that I was like, okay, that just tells me that there could have been a whisper speaking about how, because I will confirm the players do love him. He's a very personable person. He gets along well with most, if not all, the group, really connects well, and the players love him, but they loved him when he was as the defensive coach too, right? So I can picture that maybe a couple of players have said, yeah, we love him, he's really good, he's changed things up, his pre-game speeches are better, something like that. And the media's just gone, all right, yep, Andrew Welsh is very close with him. He's picked his guy. So, long story short, I feel much better now in taking whatever the media says, and that goes for Mitch Cleary, the Age, the Herald Sun, everybody involved with a grain of salt until it's confirmed to me otherwise. Hey, Noel, trams dropped me halfway, so I had to walk in the wet. Oh, no. I've had to get a warm cup of tea to warm you up. Melbourne, 6,000 plus metres gain to Essendon's 5,000. Yeah. We were always second to the ball, always trailing. They were running in waves and we just trailing behind like you do, like I used to do in the schoolyard. I am not a speed runner. I am a long distance. I will go forever and a day. I will keep up with Forrest Gump, but I'm taking a year and a half to do it. So I understand, but I'm also not a professional athlete, so it's painful to watch. Sada showed all the reasons he wasn't getting a game with Brad today, unfortunately. Worst game he's probably played in a very long time. Across the board. It wasn't just his kicking, his defensive accountability poor. I get he's not a speed player, but he's a burst player. But at some point, Matthew Hurd and Kelly are the only ones I've heard say they want the Essendon job. Well, Kelly, to be fair, is going to go for the Carlton job as well. I don't think he'll go for the Tasmania job, but at this point of his career, and all the young first-timers, they're just going to go for the role because it's good experience for them. And they're going to get used to going through the process in the hope that the next time they get it. So Skipworth, I think, has actually been through a couple of processes, if I'm not wrong. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure he went for a couple of the jobs. Still a smoky for mine. Jones was playing wing and dropping forward and into defence before he got injured. I think he's best on the wing. Boyd, skill errors, players not giving effort will kill any coach. Yeah. MBD, Kelly would be good. At least he knows the club, but will he get clear air for long enough to develop the boys? I think not. Well, this is the issue that I think is not on the club itself. The clear air that's an us issue because it's not the club who are trying to get, if they appoint, for example, a Kelly, they've done the right thing in appointing him. The onus is on people outside the club then if we're the ones not giving him clean air. It won't be anything he's doing. So maybe we need to take a look inwards. You are correct. Brad wasn't the problem. Just need time to develop. Talking about Sardis, I'm hoping it was Welsh creating a rumour to work out a leak. I mean, there's merit in that too. I just think the club went, after the initial circus, the club just said, nah, we've got to hunker down, go inward, go indoors, go internal. And the media, like a petulant child, is like, no, we get clicks when we write about you. I want to whisper. I want something. And they got donuts. And then they just went, all right, well, I'm taking this into my own hands. Pretty sure that's what happened. Take that as you will. It was an absolute load of shit. Yeah. More so than any of the reports so far. Journo's hammering Solomon about what the process is going to be for the new coach. Oh, God. How many times has this guy got to answer the question that he's not thinking about it because he is self-aware enough to know and said it himself that that's about him. That makes it about him and not the players. That's what endeared me to him. Not only did he have empathy and compassion, but humility as well. Others would be good to learn off that. Media speak shit, all guessing. Yeah. Thank you, Moby. You just got home cold and wet. Uber Eats ordered. World Cup tomorrow. Bloody Essendon. What did you order from Uber Eats, please? Need to know. Put your woolly socks on. World Cup tomorrow. VFL tomorrow. Jackson Artemis tomorrow. Lots to actually do tomorrow after a nice little sleep in, for me anyway. Mainstream media making shit up for a headline, shocking no one. Yeah, it's just hard because you see, I don't know, you see people they know that people are going to read it, and that they're their one avenue to Essendon people, and that's why fan content creators exist, basically, to cut through that shit. Welsh is the president, not a dictator. The whole board needs to agree. Good point, Xavier. Very good point. Maybe you guys need to stop getting past champions to give a rev up. Not sure those young guys even know who they are. They don't. The third quarter was kind of fun when we had angry Essendon. I just think they got inspired. They looked inspired. Redmond went to another gear, and then Farrow looked energized, and they just got a sniff, and then the energy lifted, and it was nice. For a minute, for a hot minute, I felt like, I barrack for a competitive football side, and it was good. Hello, Matthew.
Oh, hello.
Good to see you.
Oh, you too.
How are you?
I need to vent. I need to vent.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Oh, like I've sat back and and I've spoken to different Essendon supporters, and I mean, there's my sister because she's married to Damien Cupido's brother, so Essendon. But my whole family's like Essendon, but.
Yep.
Like just the whole coaching thing and the media. I agree with you. I can't listen to the media. The media is there to sell. They're to create drama, to get clicks. That's all they're there for. They don't have Essendon's best interest at heart, like at all. At all.
Not their job, and they don't care either.
No. But yeah, I don't know. Like with the coaching, I'd love to hear, because I really love Rocco, because he just like Ron Connolly, because he just initially I didn't like him. I'll be honest, because I was like, who is this guy bashing the club? But when you find out he's an Essendon supporter, you're like, okay. My big concern is I just want them to go through a process. What Vozzo and Brad Scott, like what and Rosa and stuff, I felt like whatever is going on, I want them to go through a process. I don't want them to be like to do smoke and mirrors and then I have concerns about Andrew Welsh in terms of, is he just going to give someone like James Hird the job? Is it a mates thing? Because he's really close with Hird. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have big concerns like over that. And just other Essendon supporters who are completely dogmatic in the Herd's the right man for the job. Like I love who's that guy? Greg. I love listening to Greg, and I thought I want to clear the air. I'm aware of 93. Don't get me wrong. I've watched 84, 85, 93. I was only 4 at the time, and 2000 was the greatest year of my life when we won that grand final. So good, but. I know he said that Curd, maybe he will be Curd, maybe he'll go off once he starts coaching. But like he's been out of the game for so long. He's been in like the business sector, and he's had businesses and stuff. And it's like I want a coach that's got their finger on the pulse. I want someone that's still in the space. I want a James Kelly or even a Longmire. I consider a Longmire, but. I mean, I think the question is to you. Do you think our club could take on someone like a James Kelly, but more so like, is our club internally in a stable enough place to take on a James Kelly? Because I think a James Kelly sounds great. But, do we need a strong figure like Horse to come in and tell like coteries or other factions that are trying to weasel their way back in? Like, what do you think?
I said it before, but like if a James Kelly or a new coach is not given the clean air and the clear air to coach without external noise that is not coming from within the inner circle, well, that's an us problem. That is not a coaching problem. And we need to be better in that department. I am continually assured that is not a case, that is just not a thing. But I have my question marks, and call that distrusting, call that whatever you want. I am assured of it, but I'm still questioning whether it's a thing. And I would say that it's not a good enough reason because of outside pressure to appoint a certain person to avoid said outside pressure. I would say work on fix the outside pressure from happening, then appoint a person. Because if we're just appointing the coach because of the outside pressure, that is letting external factors control the inner sanctum. Yeah. And that is not a successful model in any venture in life, in a personal venture, in a self-development venture, in spiritually, energetically, and certainly not in business. So fix what's outside first. Again, I'm assured that outside is not an issue, but you keep hearing whispers, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like no matter what we do, we're going to get attacked. Like if we pick a coach, if we pick like a James Kelly or a Longmire, you know, there's still going to be people in the background going, oh, you know, we've got to try. They should have tried James Hird. It's like, and you even you hear it from people who like journos who in the past have absolutely slammed James Hird. It's like they just want the story. It's like I agree with you. I think Essendon. When I was a kid, Essendon, and it was said, I don't know if you listen to the Sash, but I think Nick, who used to be, it might have been like the Don father or something. I think he's joined the pod and he said, we're Essendon. We used to be, we're Essendon. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Like we do what we want. Like we had this strong, don't back down, like hold your ground sort of approach. And I feel like in this situation from the media, like, as you said, the question that Solomon got, like, what's going on with the coaching process? I feel like why can't you just tell them where to go and say, guys, like, I've told you that, like, just throw, like, you know, call them out and just like belittle them. Like, I feel like bite back, show some gumption. Do you know what I mean?
I am assured that that's what's been happening. But again, my spidey senses start prickling when you hear, and again, it's probably me getting a bit sucked into some of the media reports, and I just said I wasn't going to do that anymore. So you know, give and take. Some days I fall prey to the media, and some days I'm like, nah, not today, Satan. But yeah, look, I'm assured that that is no longer an issue. But yeah, you don't know. Do you? And you're correct, Matthew. I think no matter what we do, we're gonna come under scrutiny from someone.
This is the I spoke to like, or it's my kind of a step cousin. It's my auntie remarried. Her son, he's Essendon, but he's like very in the Herd camp, and I'm like, the way he explained to me, it's like, if he had a good coaching thing around him, if he had a good coaching group, great. But the other factor you've got to, it's like Essendon needs to be aware that like, and they'll know that a media storm will come. Like if we pick up Herd, like I was speaking to a girl, I was at my physio. She's like the receptionist. She's a Carlton supporter. When I started talking about James Hird, she was, oh, you know, drug cheat. And I was just like, it's like, and I stick up for them. I don't think it was Hird at all. I think it was probably Bomber Thompson personally. Like, I'm just not going to hold any punches. Like, you bring the weapon and him coming from Geelong, like Hird. And this is the thing, we don't have anything to go. We don't know James Hird personally, but as a player, he was never someone that was like, oh, he never cheat. He was like, he won a Brownlow, for God's sakes. You know, he's champion of the game. I think to do like a character analysis, he's not someone that you'd be like, oh yeah, he's gonna do dodgy stuff.
Yeah. Agreed.
But at the same time, it's like, if we were to get him, there would be an absolute, like, there would be target on our back, like social media wise as well, like fans from other clubs, they would be having a field day.
Yep. That's like, I think if we appoint him, that's going to happen. If we don't appoint him, our own fans are going to have a field day. So,
but the other thing that I would love to do, I don't know whether the club could come out and do a survey, do it like if there was some way to do a valid survey of who actually wants James Hird to come back, like maybe like no, yes, or open to it. Do you know what I mean? And actually do a proper one, because SEN, oh my God, like don't start. Like I listen to SEN, but they're sitting there going, oh, like Matthew Richardson, 80-20, they want James Hird back. I'm like, every Essendon supporter, it's like, no, it's not. Like,
No,
it's not. Like,
the numbers are being exaggerated, and I know this because by virtue of having this channel and this community, I have hundreds of DMs at any given point. And the people in my DMs are the ones who don't feel comfortable actually saying their opinions on the public forum.
Yeah.
And the people I speak to in the public, I was at the gym the other day and two guys, shout out to the two guys, came over and said hello. And I always ask everybody I speak to about Essendon, and I always ask them, who do you want as coach? And they were both emphatically against a Hird return. So that kind of tells me that it's a bit like, the concept of fear. Fear overtakes a lot of people because it's loud. It doesn't mean that most of your world is made up of fear. It's just that fear is loud and dominating. And that's what it kind of feels like in the public forum, that people are very passionate about one way, and the others who are not and are just quietly sitting there with their opinions. So I think the numbers are inflated.
But I think also people on social media that, can be really angry and like they'll post stuff. It's like they're the sort of people, it's like, I feel like we live in a world at the moment, especially with social media, that the loud people are the ones, they're just like angry, and they're not like balanced, or like, they've got a bit of like, they're not well-balanced opinions. They're just like pure emotion. It's like they're venting their shit just online. Where someone like me, I like to discuss things, but I like to discuss things I like to look at the pros and the cons. I like to have a reasonable, like, look at something and try and look at it as objectively as possible. And when I look at Essendon, I think like, and especially just coaches in general, like who have won flags, you're right. Like the last few coaches, like they've been first-time coaches. It's not like, and when I brought up Kevin Sheedy the last time I was on, I said, Kevin Sheedy, like, I don't think we're going to see a coach again that's going to win, something like 83, 84, 93, 2000. It's like almost like you get your these days you get your premierships, like, and you're probably not going to win another one. Do you know what I mean? Like if you go to another club, I think the game just changes too quickly now.
Yeah, it is. The modern game certainly seems to be. I mean, unless you're Brisbane, who just won 3 and potentially, they are not going great at the moment, but I think they're kind of dormant right now. So I think they're going to come good towards the end of this season. I still think they're going to be a premiership threat this year.
Yeah.
But
you can't write them off.
Yeah, agreed. We'll wait and see what happens, Matthew. But thanks for jumping on. Really appreciate your insight.
I just want to finish on one thing. I just want everyone to just take a deep breath and realize that this was always going to happen. Where we are with what we're trying to do, going down and getting these draft picks. Look at Richmond. It's happened to Richmond. It's like we're not immune to that stuff. It's painful, but just we're going to get the draft picks. That's all I'll say.
Yep. Well said,
thanks,
Matthew.
Thanks, Fiona.
My pleasure. Take care. Have a great weekend. Catch ya. Bye. Maintain some respect for your fellow supporters. There's no need to be name calling. This forum is open to everybody to jump on and come on screen and say your piece. It takes a little bit of courage, and it's very easy to sit there and argue and call people names in the comment section. But this forum is open to everybody to have their say, as everybody is allowed to. So we don't have to revert to name calling, please. Someone who is not a stranger to name calling, the solution. He is looking very, very patriotic with the Socceroos, ready for the soccer.
Yep, we're about to get.
Have you switched off football officially?
Pardon?
Have you switched off football officially?
Oh, no, we're going to get fucked over tomorrow as well. We're going to lose 5-0.
Oh, okay.
So it's not going to get any better. But
are we not any good? Are we not any good, Australia, at soccer? No?
No. Look, about 20 years ago, we had a team we had what I describe as our golden generation. We had Viduka, Harry Kuehl, Tim Cahill. We had all these players. That is the solution, my friend. We don't have any players in the Premier League at all.
Okay. Right.
We don't have players in the top flights in Europe. But we did okay last time. But look, I'm going to go to the pub tomorrow. I'm going to fly the flag, and let's see how we go. You know, my second cousin was a Socceroo.
Your second cousin? Okay, that's your claim to fame.
That's it, yeah, his name was Sean Murphy, and he played in defence for Australia and in a couple of those failed World Cup campaigns where we didn't actually make it through. But yeah, none of the talent.
It's quite exciting though. It's quite exciting knowing that tomorrow, most people, we say most people will actually tune into the game and have this common. Most people in the country will have a common team to support. That's kind of a cool. Yeah, maybe saying most is not correct.
We'll bond over our mediocrity. Does that sound familiar?
Very good at that. That's just another day at this side of the pond.
Yeah. Okay. So who's been mean in the chat? Is this what I'm hearing?
Oh, I just don't like the name calling because it's, this is an open forum and I don't want people to feel like they come on here and they're going to be name called. Like,
Yeah. Well, look.
It's not an easy thing, and that's why most people will sit behind a computer and type and not actually jump on. It's not easy. It takes a bit of courage. So we can disagree, of course, but
look, yeah. I agree with that. I also agree with 15th Sign, I think his name is, who said Australia's shit. Australia is terrible at soccer. Look, the telltale sign is if you call it soccer, it's probably your second or third tier sport. So
apologies. Well, hey, I thought Italy was supposed to be good at soccer. What are we doing?
Who? Italy?
Yeah.
Oh, don't go there. They are terrible. The Azzurri. Yeah, they didn't
doesn't
make
sound
it
right.
again. But yeah, can I don't know. I want to do it again. Can I weigh in on the coaching conversation again? I know I'm gonna risk the wrath of the herd sexuals, who the herd sexuals for me, I've narrowed them down to they're the ones that are super aggressive at the non-herd believers or the people that even question there might be a process. So I refer to the herd sexuals as the extreme far right wing of the herd camp, shall we say?
Yeah, it's not. You're not saying it's everyone who wants herd. It's just the people who are using it negatively.
Yeah, not at all. In fact, look, I'm almost coming around to the idea that maybe he's potentially the guy. I still favour a proper process, not a Robert Walls-driven process, not a Robert Walls with Jordan Lewis, who, let's be honest, Jordan Lewis can't even be honest about his hairline. So do you really want him helping to select a coach? But
hang on, isn't anybody on a selection panel going to have a football history? So what if Matthew Pavlich was on the selection panel, for example? Like Joe Watson was on the selection panel. Joe Watson was on the selection panel for Melbourne. Like, I don't know. Would some people think that these players are haters of those clubs? I don't know. Is that realistic?
No, I don't think they were haters. Look, I'm assuming they tried to do the best job that they could. And again, let's not rewrite history. Brad Scott did certain things for our club which were very positive, and we're seeing the fruits of some of those things now through the recruitment of players who are non-Dodoro draft picks. That said, the big three of Reid, Perkins, and Cox might actually be turning around and looking like they could actually play football. But that's an aside. I think we need a proper process. I think we need more than a panel of two. We need a group of credentialed football people. But all I want to say is I don't want Scott Welsh. I don't want Welsh.
Who is Scott Welsh?
I've been on a bit. I don't want Welsh. Whatever his first name, Scott or otherwise. I don't want him making the arbitrary decision on a whim, whether it's Solomon or Hurd. I know he's amassed a fortune of some 400 million through very smart property dealings, and if it comes to raising capital from non-traditional Australian financial institutions, he's your man. But I don't want him. Damn Scott Welsh, exactly, Fitzy. I do not want Welsh just arbitrarily deciding on a whim on a Tuesday, you know what, Solomon's my man. Nor do I want him deciding that Hurd is my man, nor any of his other former teammates that he happens to like on any given Sunday. So just pick your Scott Welsh, good bloke. Thanks, Mines Freeway.
See, at least we can laugh and be entertained.
I just want to know, are you the real Monash Freeway? Because I'm also an inanimate object. I'm a windsock, but you suck. You really do suck.
Yeah.
This is the thing. We should run a process and select the best team, dare I say, for the job. What's interesting to me, and this is what I want to ask you, is assuming we run a process, are we picking the coach and letting the coach then select his assistants?
Yes.
Or, which is what...
Oh, sorry. I answered before you finished.
No. Well, that's what we did with Scott. Speaking of Scott.
Okay, so the actual Scott, as in Brad Scott, or
Brad
Scott Welsh?
Not Scott Welsh. No. Scott Welsh fucked the club.
Scott Welsh. The Scott can be a middle name, so maybe it is Brad Scott Welsh. No, I think whoever the coach is, Hurd, Longmire, Kelly, you have to afford them maybe two at least to bring in their own coaching team, or certainly suggest who they want.
Monash is currently congested at the moment. I think a bit of Vicks on the chest might help with that. So therefore, should that not be part of the assessment process? And this would also work in Hurd's favour. Should you not have to table who your team is? In which case, because I think it's a fairly common knowledge isn't the right word, or right term, but I think a lot of people believe that not only was Brad Scott maybe not the right man for the job, but he's also assistants. I mean, there are a bunch of guys that I'd never heard of. They didn't inspire confidence in me. Should we not take out, like I don't want Welsh appointing Solomon. Take your time, let it go to the end of the season, and let these guys bring forward their entire strategy, not just who they are as a person, not just about their ability, but who's their team and what's their vision for the club. That's what we should be testing. And that's why we need a group, a panel to assess what they're bringing to the table. It should be the complete entire package. I think that's how we need to approach this selection, which is the most, you could argue, we get this wrong, and forget the 12:15 time slots. We might be consigned to 7 a.m. Like, where can we be hidden? We might be. Yeah. We might start playing down at Geelong at 7 a.m. just to hide us completely, so no one can watch us. I really reckon we need that. We need to take our time, proper process, proper panel, and let's see what these coaches can bring to the table. And that, to be honest, I think that works in James Hurd's favour, because I think he'll be aware. I think he's self-aware enough to know he's been out of the system a while, and he'll be looking to bring in some assistants who are highly credentialed. I'd love him to come in with like a John Longmire or somebody like that as his sort of almost like a director of football type person. A little bit similar to what Bomber Thompson did for James Hurd his first time round, setting aside everything that happened and all the dramas around the saga. That was a great sort of system. You know, premiership coach, highly credentialed, sort of overseeing the program. I reckon that would be ideal. But anyway, that's what I think we need to do. Do not, Welsh, whatever you do, just decide. 'Cause I do worry. I don't know. I don't think he presents all that well, maybe. Because to me, he presents, and this might be really unfair, he presents as a little bit dim. Like sometimes when he looks Welsh, sometimes when he looks at the camera, he almost goes cross-eyed, and I think, is there much going on there? I don't know, and I'm sure that's unfair, but I just don't want him. I'm labouring.
Or is that what he wants you to think?
Oh, the double bluff.
Mm.
Okay.
I don't know him personally, so I'm open to all explanations for that.
Is there a world where this whole Solomon thing is just something he's floated out there into the media to maybe distract from the fact he may just come and appoint Hurd, so it's not seen as a fait accompli? Welsh too smart for us, says Aurax 2374.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I hope not, but I just think of this panel that they're gonna put in to pick the coach, and I just think there's going to be someone who suggests that this panel member is conflicted or has,
I'm not worried about it.
A toe in another camp, but I just don't think anybody is going to be happy with the panel. Not everybody's going to be happy with the panel in place because there's always going to be some conflict.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't. I don't think we should worry about that. We should.
This is exactly right. Gars Lemon sound like we need a selection panel to select the selection panel. This is the roads that we're crossing here because, again, I personally didn't see any major issue. All of a sudden, like Jordan Lewis is an Essendon hater. I saw Essendon fans calling him. I have never thought about him that way. Is that because he played for Hawthorn? I just don't get that. I never got that vibe from him. I don't know. That's not to sum him up in any other way, but that specific point. Are we just saying it because he picked Brad?
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing. And I mean, nobody, I mean, we used to accuse Rob Walls when he was in the media of being an Essendon hater and hating Kevin Sheedy. In fact, I think there was history between those two. And yet Sorry, you were going to say?
No, I was waiting for you. I think the Wi-Fi dropped out.
Okay. No, you froze on my end. So anyway, I don't have anything else to say other than I really want it to be a proper, thorough process. None of this selecting Solomon. None of this selecting, just selecting, anointing Hurd. But let's whoever we select, let's give them legitimacy. And if we just appointed somebody on a whim or just appointed somebody out of a process, it'll potentially delegitimize their appointment. Far better to run through a process, select the best man for the job, and then we all get behind them and go Australia, even though we're going to get screwed by Turkey tomorrow.
Are we going to? Do we have to? I don't know how it works. Forgive my ignorance. How many of the 3 games do we have to win to move forward? Is that how it works?
Yeah, you need enough points. You need to finish second, or I think you can finish third and still get through. Depending.
How do you not know? Isn't soccer your number one sport? Why aren't you across this?
It's changed. They've got more teams, and also
is that an excuse? I don't think we'd let him get away with this.
Potentially. Also, the United States is royally fucking the tournament through the government. The government's policy. They didn't let in a referee, a highly credentialed referee, because he was from Somalia. There were like $1 million Senegalese players who like earn top dollar in Europe, like 100,000 euros a week, getting cavity searched just because they were from the Senegalese team. Like it's been a big fiasco so far, but.
I am glad for a 2 p.m. normal time slot to be able to actually watch it because there's no way I'm giving up sleep to get up and watch it. But I think to answer your question, we don't need to win, but if we could draw, that would be handy
But we need to win one of our games to get through, I think.
And are Turkey, before I let you go, are Turkey very highly regarded? Are they very good?
Oh, they're a European team.
Okay.
Like Italy didn't get through, Turkey did. So they're a European team and their league is quite good. So yeah, they're definitely the favourites, hot favourites tomorrow. But Australians, you know, they do have a history of punching above their weight and fighting.
Okay.
So who knows?
Oh, well, we'll wait and see. But yeah, we'll all be barracking for the one team, which is nice to think. All right, Solution, thanks so much for joining us. Always a pleasure. Take care of yourself.
Peace out, everyone.
Bye. Oh, came with the goods today, did Solution. All right, let's chat to Joe. What's Joe got? Joe is blank. I don't see Joe.
You can't see me.
Oh, now I see you. Here you are. There was
Hello,
a bit of a
how
delay.
are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Just sitting in and listening to everyone have their piece. And it really just confirms, I suppose, why I believe the club should not be listening to anybody and really just going on and doing its own thing, because none of us know what's the best way to go about it. None of us know what's the appropriate pathway to go down, what really is best for these players, what's best for the club at the moment. Everyone's got their own opinion. And I suppose it could be a bit of an appeal to authority fallacy, but really none of us have run football clubs and none of us have run successful programs before to know what really is the best process. And for me at the moment, I'm sort of not really committing too much to thinking about who the next coach is going to be. Obviously, me having my opinion on things isn't really going to impact who the next coach will be. If it's Hurdy who gets appointed through the process, well, he better have impressed the selection panel. If it's, you know, Kelly, or if it's Enright, or if it's Longmire, whoever it is, they really need to come in and they really have to be arm in arm, hand in hand with the board, with the direction of the club, with the players on the field. And I think at the moment that isn't happening, unfortunately, with what's happening on the field, because it's sort of chopping and changing too much. And I'm not a big fan, and I think a lot of us have not been big fans of the game style as it currently is at the moment. I think it seems that we are a back half football team, not a front half football team. Just the way the ball bounces out of our forward line so easily, the way we'll bomb the ball forward and it's in a dangerous spot, but the way it can then get transitioned with the ease that it takes for clubs to go from one end of the ground to the other, it almost seems to me that at the moment the club has given up on transition D and said, look, we can't stop the transition, so let's just all flood back as quickly as we can to then try and kickstart our ball movement, winning it from defence and then moving the ball end to end. But that's just not how the modern game is being played. And I know Solly's at the helm right now, and Solly's obviously just a caretaker coach, but I want to see Solly try and play a front half game. I really want Solly to try and drill it into these players. Yeah, all right, I might not be the head coach moving forward, but this is the game style that wins games of football. This is the game style that will have you be competitive. And whilst the game style might change slightly with someone else at the helm next year, and obviously we're not anticipating them to be hitting the ground running and playing that front half game to perfection, the whole point of rebuilding is that you put yourself on a path that you will slowly improve on and get better at, get you more used to it, and you build synergy in the style, not just synergy with your teammates. And that's the difference between a systematic-based team and a team that is reliant on personnel. And we've obviously struggled with personnel the last couple of years, and we continue to struggle with personnel again with a couple more injuries today. But we really need, if we are going to change as a football club and become better, genuinely better, we need to move away from a personnel-based team into a system-based team. That's what we really need to do, I think, first and foremost. And I want Solly to really try and build that into the players as much as possible for the rest of this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I probably think, like some of the chat have mentioned, we just do the fundamentals so poorly that I don't know how any system can hold up, even when we have yards of space to execute quite simply. And when the target ahead has got some space on their opponent, we can't even hit the target. So I just don't know how any system can hold up. I feel like I'm talking to myself, and I am. Are you there, Joe?
The players don't believe in the system yet because the players haven't been taught. Because the players don't believe in a system because the players have never been developed as a system-based team. These players have always been, I think we've always tried to play on talent. I think we've always tried to recruit a big name or to believe in the upside of a potential player. I don't think we've ever categorically had a system that we have stuck to. I think off the top of my head, the last identifiable game plan or strategy that I can recall us doing was under Worsfold, that running and gunning off half back with Saad and McKenna. And you just knew that this is what we were trying to do.
Are we saying that he was ahead of his time? Or Woosha?
He was a little bit in that, unfortunately, yeah, because that was the game plan we were playing when it wasn't when that wasn't the winning strategy. Then the rules started to change, and we got the 6-6-6. And of course, as soon as 6-6-6 came in, we lost Saad and we lost McKenna and we lost all that speed and drive of halfback. So we could not capitalize on those even numbers forward of the ball. So we've had a few things go against us, unfortunately, in recent years, but ultimately it needs to be system-based, and these players have never done that before. I think we're slowly building up the level of talent that we've got in the side, which is great. Love having high draft picks. Obviously love increasing it's always that bottom 6 players on the field that makes or breaks you, right? And I think we're doing a really good job in hitting the draft, and thank God for Rosa. He's just not missing with any of these draft picks. Chef's kiss. In Rosa we trust. And we're going to hit the draft again hard this year. But before we get to that point, I really want the guys that we have right now on the field to embrace what it means to really play team football. And that's sort of what was being told to them before the game started, right? That pre-game rev-up was all about don't just handball it to someone or kick it. It's about passing it to a teammate. It's not just about putting a block on. You are shepherding for a teammate. All of it is systematic, and we haven't quite embraced that system yet. And obviously when you don't have that direction and that confidence, you end up having these really poor skill errors. And I think too often we get scared to make mistakes. Guys, we know that we are not a great football team, and we're not expecting you to go out and play perfect football. What we want for you is to not be gun shy. What we want for you is to really try and take the game on, to try and win. And if you're not good enough to win, then so be it. But at least you went down swinging. For me, I'd have no issues if we lost every game for the rest of this year, but we lost in the same manner that we lost against Gold Coast or that we lost against the Giants, where it was a competitive loss, not down by 41 points at halftime because we're going lateral and sideways and we stop the ball at half back trying to look forward where we're going to kick the ball. Have someone overlap run. And we saw Ridley try to do it a couple of times, which was great. Welcome back, Jordan Ridley. Thank you for getting through the game unscathed. But I really want the rest of this season to not just simply be about let's try and get the number 1 draft pick. I think it should be all about let's try and build a forward half game. Let's try and build a system where everyone is pushing up, trying to squeeze. If you're not good at kicking to targets, that's fine. Bomb it high and long, but at least keep your numbers forward to bring the ball to ground and squeeze up. Create front half turnovers, because we don't have the skills to be able to pinpoint and kick our way through teams. We're not that dynasty Hawthorn team that did that under Clarko. This is a different team. This should be a team that's embracing mongrel. This should be a team that should be embracing forward half chaos, in my opinion. And I really want to see more of that. I think I'm looking more big picture. I'm not looking at individual players, as you can tell.
Yeah, what would the first move be to start to put that into practice? If you were given the keys, what would the first thing you do?
First thing I'd do is, I think at the moment, the way that the players are so used to it is receive the ball to then handball backwards to create some space for them to kick forward. I wouldn't kick the ball forward straight away upon receiving that first handball backwards. I would have it where someone like a Redmond or someone like a Farrow is running by to create that overlap run, so that handball is then going to someone with forward momentum to then generate a much steeper kick inside forward 50 at pace, and then have those midfielders, all right, you don't have the ball, but you know your teammate has got it and is about to kick it inside 50. Push up forward, try and put the heat in, get some repeat inside 50s, to really try to wear down the opposition defense. It needs to be quick and it needs to be hectic. And I think we have now a few players in this side who will embrace that hectic energy. Like, for example, I reckon Durham will absolutely froth that. I reckon Day Wicks would absolutely love that. Obviously, Roby would love that. Sharp will not take a backward step, and Sharp will be happy to rise to that occasion. Look at Huss, how quick he is to pounce on a ball that's on the ground and in chaos. I think we've got the personnel now in this side that aren't the goody-goody two-shoes who are going to fray under that manic pressure that we're the ones applying. We really need to go into these games not, let's try and contain how we lose. No, we should be going into these games thinking, how can we attack these guys? And all good plans go out the window when someone gets hit in the face, right?
Yes. So are you suggesting we hit people in the face, or no, I'm kidding.
Yes, 100%. Go out there. You got to look at what Cosy Pickett did to our boy Archie, mate. Look what he did. He full ducks under him and then caused him to get in. No, I'm just kidding. Don't.
I just question mark whether we have the players with the footy IQ to actually do that. But otherwise, I'm on board the plan. When can we start? Basically, I don't know. Obviously, Farrow, I have great hope in, and Archie Roberts is very proficient in it. I think teams are putting more work into stopping his overlap run because he consistently disposes of it and then runs on to be the next link in the chain. Zach Johnson also very good at that. Kondo will be good at that. So we are kind of starting to accumulate players who can do that. And I think that's the plan. I don't think the plan is to possess the football. Some of these guys go into self-preservation mode and are just thinking, I just need to take the next mark, but it's slow. And the reality is it gives the opposition time to diligently get up the ground and outnumber us. That's what Melbourne did to us the entire first quarter. They just outnumbered us. And now we're just conditioned to go to packs into the forward line. I know the Caddy mark, I think it was Pryor who kicked it to him. But whilst he saw Caddy, identified him and thought, all right, I'm not going to ignore him. Caddy had to take a spectacular mark, got a he was half blind when he kicked that goal, couldn't even see. Yeah. Meanwhile, Jones had come off the boundary and was standing in front of Caddy. If you watch the replay, was standing in front of Caddy alone because Melbourne had sent their spare to the contest to try and outnumber Caddy. We didn't even have the right of mind. There was no one pointing at Jones standing right there by himself. And of course, Caddy has to take a spectacular mark and kick a goal. So, yeah, there's just so many little problems that need fixing, I guess.
Internet dropped out. Am I back?
You're back.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. No, you're 100% right. And I think a lot of times, similar to, I don't want to make that comparison, but when you have a big, key forward that just draws attention, like, for example, there are a lot of times where the Swans were very Buddy focused, trying to kick the ball to Buddy Franklin at all costs. Having more, and obviously we've lost some really important players in the forward line. I think, May was coming on incredibly well. Obviously, Dos Metros Petros, your boy, 2 Meter Peter.
I'm glad you made me laugh about it because I just die a little inside every time I'm reminded. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. No, so we obviously have lost some really important key pillars in the forward line for those long, high kicks. But you've sent Mackay there to be that big crashing guy. And I think use him as that big crashing guy. I don't think you necessarily need for Mackay to be hit up on the lead, pinpoint perfectly. He's a big boy, and if we really want to embrace the chaos and we don't have the ability to pinpoint these perfect passes to our forwards, which we don't, then if you're going to then embrace the fact that, all right, we're going to kick it high and long and we're going to have this guy bring the ball to ground. He's going to be our 2 Meter Peter, who's just not going to get beat one-on-one. He's going to be our Archer May, who is just not going to get beat one-on-one. And we're going to keep our star forward, who is as good on the ground as he is in the air, right? Nate Caddy is sensational on ground level. He's got agility like no one's business. Have him stay on the ground. He can rove the pack. He can be involved. He can set other goals, or he can lead away, or he could be the one kicking the ball inside 50, playing as that high half forward because his opponent can't run with him. But I think it still needs to be system based. Just plug and play. All right, 2 Meter Peter is out and May is out. All right, we're going to replace them with a couple of other options, and they're going to play that said role. We want to try and keep things as consistent as possible, and so that the players can build standards and habits that they know will work for them moving forward. And obviously when Kako comes in, it will be absolutely game-changing for us. It will be sensational. When Ewan comes off his 2-week suspension for that dangerous tackle, things might improve. When we get Kobe Buick in the future, would be great. But there is upside to this team. I'm just cognizant of the fact that I don't want us to waste the rest of this year playing safe football. I want them to go away, have their rest, go have your rest, enjoy your bye. You deserve it. It's been a really hard slog this first half of the season. If we're struggling as much as we are, I can't imagine what the players are going through themselves. Go, have your break, have your D&Ms, those deep and meaningfuls, spend the time with Solly, with each other, and then come back half of the season and really just go for it. You got nothing to lose. You can't get any worse. You're literally last on the ladder.
But there's further to fall, I think, potentially. But no, you're right. There's no point playing safe football at this point. And I don't think that's what they're instructed to do. I don't think that's what they're trying to do. I genuinely don't. I think they panic and go into self-preservation and they think, all right, we'll possess the ball now. But the problem is the next player thinks, all right, I'll possess the ball now. And the next guy's going to run and gun. But then it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and no one ends up taking the game on. So we wait and see. Joe, have a lovely break.
You too.
Don't think about Essendon for a week, and we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks.
I'm always wearing Essendon paraphernalia and stuff. I got complimented. I wore it to work yesterday. I was eerily, for some reason, I was confident that we might be competitive, but alas, I'll enjoy the break. You enjoy the break. Enjoy the beach, guys. Stick together. No division. No anger at each other. We all obviously want what's best for the club. And we all deserve a rest as well. So have a good night, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.
Catch you, Joe. Bye. Footy Refined, did you have issues getting in the chat? There's the link if you do. Let's talk to Greg in the meantime.
Yeah.
Hello, Greg, and Greg's wife, or the TV.
Oh, yeah. Can we turn the telly down, Dale? Yeah, sorry about that.
Thank you, Mrs. Greg.
Mrs. Gregg, she's amazing. I'll tell you.
I bet she is.
She is.
How are you, Greg?
I'm very well. I'm very well. I enjoyed what your last caller had to say. Most of it I agree with. Some things a little bit different wavelength, but I'm not too disappointed about the way the guys went today. It wasn't the first half, but they definitely stepped up in the second half, and there was definitely an improvement, which was good to see. But I think the big thing that we've got to take on board is the fact that young team, we've got a lot of players missing, and important players too. I mean, the loss of Peter Wright you can just see the damage that we're suffering without him in the side, and other experienced players that are missing. Then we've got stars like Kako and that. So there's a lot of good players that are out of the side, and we're suffering a little bit of the cancer that we had last year. So I darned if I'm going to come down on the team. I'm just going to look for positives wherever I can see positives and bank those. And the negatives, I think that's for another year now. So proud of the way the boys are.
That's not the narrative we had this afternoon.
Oh my God, Mrs. Gregg, can you please? I need you to repeat the words that I'm about to say. Greg, ready? Mrs. Gregg?
Mrs. Gregg, you're being called.
I love you. No, just tell her I love her.
Hello, hang on, here she comes. She's in for a penny, in for a pound.
I heart you. I heart you so much. It's cheered me right up. Don't save all the positivity for Bomber Banter, Greg. You can get it all out. If Mrs. Gregg has to put up with it, then we can too.
No. Am I doing a Mickey when I was watching the Bombers today? Quite controlled.
Okay. Don't know who I trust. I think I'm team Mrs. Gregg, but go on.
Yeah. Look, I want to be positive because I think that I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of negativity. It's self-defeating. And so I look for the gems. Today, Will Setterfield, what a gem. I can't believe that we hadn't had him in the team all year. The physicality that he brings around contested ball is it's so clear to see. He had a great game today. So loved his game. Mm-hmm. Loved Nick Cox today. Where did that come from? Had a fantastic game today.
I love
yeah, well, I noticed, Fiona, the fear seems to be disappearing from his game. It was tentative early in the year, and I think that's understandable because he's gone through a lot, and he's also had to go through the media attention and bad fans who say he can't take a knock and he bungs it on. You know, well, if he was bunging it on, he's been out for a long time with concussion. So, you know, for him to come back says a lot about his character. And today, his character was coming to the fore. It was wonderful to see his attack on the football. He got his hand on the pill plenty of times. He was slick with his handballs. He did some really good stuff there. So really, really pleased for him. Archie Wicks, Dyson Sharp. These players are really showing us something of the future. And I was excited about their game. Reedy's coming on. So I even think Harry Mackay going forward. I mean, if the man could kick straight, he walks away with 4 goals. But, you know, I think that I don't think he'll be ever going back. I can't see how he'd go back to the back line. And with, say, a Mackay, a 2-metre Peter and a caddy with a Kako. And look, Hussein El Ashka, the jury's been out for me with him, but to see his chase, even when he had no chance, he refused not to put 110% effort into his chase. And a couple of times there, his chase actually paid dividends where the guy miskicked or kicked under pressure. And so I was really pleased for him today. I mean, if the guy had a 50-metre keep, he would be. This is only funny, Greg, because you called Ben Mackay Harry Mackay. That's why we're laughing. Yeah. I don't know where that came from. Carlton have a bye, but yeah, no. Oh, my wife's
we'll just take the one Mackay. Thank you.
No, this is what happens when you age, Fiona. It's like certain files go missing in the cabinet, and you're sort of digging around looking from, going, "Oh, what was I talking about again?" It's terrible.
Well, to be fair, you get most right, so you're not doing too bad, Greg.
Yeah. No, look, I won't take up much of your time, but look, I wasn't too disappointed today. It went pretty much as I expected. The Demons are a very hard team to beat at home. And our guys, look, the second half, we'd have to be happy. We won the third quarter. Fourth quarter, we sort of fell away a little bit at the end. But I wasn't too disappointed. And I keep reminding myself of the players that are out there. Now, as far as the coaching is concerned, I will make this last comment. I wonder now whether the team needs a different voice altogether, because as much as I like Solomon, he's a great defender, and he's never been a coach. He's only been an assistant coach, and I had no doubt that he demands respect. But I just wonder whether this team completely needs a new voice altogether, a new voice, a totally new perspective. And that could be where someone like a John Longmire, who, let's face it, he's no shrinking violet, and he doesn't suffer fools, and he's very, very articulate in his game plan. He's one of the more articulate coaches that really knows how to put a game plan together and execute, and he doesn't suffer fools in that process. So, I was just looking at it today. I was watching the huddle, and I was watching the players as Solly was doing his dress. I think it was quarter time, and Perkins was looking off into the stands, and they just weren't engaged. If you went back and look at it, you'd see that they weren't actually engaged in what he was saying, and he was trying to rev them up. So, it's just an observation. It may or may not be right, but I'm starting to think we just need a completely new voice. And if I had to choose a voice, it'd be Longmire, because of his ability to implement very good strategic game planning, and he knows he just doesn't put up with any rubbish from any players. So he's the sort of man that maybe we need, particularly with a young group coming through. And I'm a James Hird fan, but I'm just wondering whether a new voice altogether is necessary. Anyway, we'll see.
I think included in that is the assistant coaches as well, and whether we've all got an opinion on them, but they've been around now for a handful of years, and I think a fresh, clean approach, the word we're going for is going to do them good. So, all right,
I'm
Greg.
coming around to that thinking, Fiona. Anyway, you have a great week. Isn't it good that we got a week off? We don't have to, suck lemons on Monday.
We can hop off the roller coaster for a week, so that's lovely. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Mrs. Greg. Right. I love you. We'll see you next week.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Taryn, thank you for the 8. I admire and I'm jealous of supporters who can find positives in us at the moment. I am so negative, and that's not who I am. Sigh. I feel you, and you're right. It's not who any of us want to be, I guess, but somehow it's not strange. You're not alone, that's for sure. That's why we're here. The negative feelings and emotions that we feel, this feels like it's never going to end, really. But unfortunately, we can't stay and make camp in the negativity, because nothing good comes from that, and that's not where we want to be. So we need to try and find the positives where we can, because they will always be there if you look for them. They will always present. When we're feeling negative, the universe just says, okay, here's more of what you're looking for. That is not woo-woo. That's not mystic. That's science, energy, biology. That is how our brain chemistries work, not biology, chemistry. My brain clearly not working. Draft King, I have to read what you say now very, very, very carefully, because you got me good last week. Thank you for the 3. When is Pommy and only Carlton coming on? I think they're on holidays, because Carlton have the bye week, so they are in the Bahamas somewhere, I don't know, just painting their fences with the navy blue, ready for the flag that they're going to win, apparently. Let's have a chat to Noah. Hey, Noah.
Hey, Fiona. How you doing?
Good. Long time no see. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, I'm doing okay. I went to the game today, and that was a tough one.
Did you get wet?
I was sitting on the wing in the AFL members section, first time. And I'm like, hopefully they can put up a good fight. Started raining in the third quarter, but we were starting to make a comeback. I'm like, can we do something here? And then in the fourth quarter, it was just not a fun watch.
Yeah, and but you know what? I was actually thinking when Greg mentioned it, I think we've been the second worst team in the comp at third quarters this year. So there's a little tick. Third quarter, well done. Won a third quarter.
What are we feeling tonight? A bit of positivity or a little bit of nuanced positivity and a little bit of negativity? What are we feeling, chat?
All of the above for me, chat. You get a hello from Joe to Noah. How are you feeling, more importantly? Out of all those options that you mentioned, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty negative at the moment, but
that's okay.
I can do either at the moment.
Yep.
It seems like the chat doesn't mind. So I'll start off with a couple of positives. Jacob Farrell, I think that was his best game in the red and black. He was outstanding. Very tough in the contest. And even I was thinking about leaving that game in the last 5 minutes. I'm like, this is getting bad. But then Jacob Farrell stood up in the tackle, got called for holding the ball. But the fact that he has the confidence to stand up in a tackle and try and take on his man, I'm like, that's great to see from the young kid. Dyson Sharp was great. Mason Redman, how good is it to have him back? How good is it to have players that are healthy and senior players to come back? I'm looking forward to the 9 players who are on the injury list. Just fill out the VFL because the VFL seem to be getting results. Maybe we can go to a couple of wins in the back end for them, you know?
Yep.
Okay, this is a bit negative, but I look at it as a positive. We have 14 players coming off their contracts at the end of the year. So we can fill some more list spots because I'm going to go a little bit negative here. Elijah Sardis, man. He's a killer. I understand why Brad Scott at the start of the season said you have to add a defensive side. He's a one-trick pony. He's a one-trick pony.
How many clearances did he have today? Because I could get on board when you're being very, very effective in what you're very good at, you know, in and under, get the ball. He had 1 centre clearance. How many total clearances did he have? And 7 contested possessions.
Yeah. It just was a tough watch because even last week and in the last couple of weeks where we've been, he played okay. You see him get the ball and he hesitates to kick it. He'll hand pass it to someone under pressure. I'm like, Dyson Sharp, who's in year 1, has more confidence and better ability to kick the ball than someone he's in his 4th year now. 4th year?
Yes. Yeah, can't be any more than that. Yeah, I believe 4th year.
Like, it's a killer. I want the kid to succeed, but every time I'm like, he had a good game. You can still see he has the same weaknesses year over year. And I know we want to give the kid a crack, but post-bye, we have Caldwell come back. And Sharp, I think, is more deserving of CBAs. So does he get sent back to the 2s?
Well, today I was actively hoping that they put Sharp in the middle because he was doing so well up forward and he was playing that high half forward role really well. He was working so hard to two-way run up and back and was being really effective and kind of executing his disposals really and his kicks and handballs. But yeah, he had 65% game time. I do acknowledge that, Sardis, but I was hoping that we're going to run Sharp through the middle a bit more. But if you don't run Elijah Sardis in the middle, then he can't really do much else. He doesn't have that extra string to his bow to go forward like Sharp does, and that's probably why he had 65% game time.
Yeah, like if it gets to the off season, but to be honest, I see a lot of Essendon fans like, if we can get a late first for him. Other clubs will know this. Other clubs will know his weaknesses. Other clubs will know that he's very one-dimensional. And look at James Warple. He's playing for Geelong, went to Geelong from Hawthorn, and he's playing in the twos. And what did he net Hawthorn? He was an unrestricted free agent, but that equated to a second-round pick, I think, for Hawthorn. Like, we're not going to get anything for him. I just don't think we got to cull the list back. And I agree with Felix. I watched his mid-week video, and Cox and Perkins, I think they've shown good signs over the since the GWS game. They've looked good.
Yeah.
But I think we just got to cull. Keep cutting the list back and keep bringing in new kids.
Okay, so the Hawks received an end of second round draft compensation pick for Warple, pick 39. So, yeah, you're correct. Yep. I mean, yeah, we haven't done ourselves any favours with Sardis, though, in not playing him, unfortunately.
Yeah, but would his kick and his decision-making be any better if he had played in the ones? Like, that's more pressure, where you get less time to try and use the ball and make good decisions. So,
yeah, I haven't had a problem with his kicking until today, since he's been back. I don't see that to be his biggest deficiency. It's the jogging when he's got to run in transition and defend his opponent. I think he lacks a bit of spatial awareness, and he doesn't know where his opponent is at all times. And I know we play zone football. I know we don't play one-on-one, but he's constantly in the rear view. And again, that's Darcy Parish has the same deficiencies as well. So,
yeah, but I think Darcy, I know we criticise his kicking. I thought before he went out the last 2 weeks, his kicking inside 450 was solid. I thought he was solid in that aspect of the game. I was watching him. He'd rack up a couple of score assists, and he wouldn't hesitate. But there was this bad moment. I think it was the end of the second quarter, and I feel like it's just because it's glaring with Sardis, where he's open on the wing. He has the opportunity to send it inside 450. Easy opportunity, but he doesn't trust himself. So he handballs it to Sullivan Roby, stoppage about 80 meters out from our goal. And I'm like, that's glaring. You do not have any confidence whatsoever.
Yeah, I think he probably missed a couple leading up to that point. Just the zero penetration in his kick as well. But it hasn't been anything like it was today, like what it was today. I know it hasn't been perfect. I'm not saying it's ever been perfect, but not like it was today. He would seriously know in himself today that his kicking was really bad. So, but we've got to keep playing him, because whether he stays or goes, as you say, we've got to try and get him improving. We've got 10 more games, 9 more games for him to improve and either keep or up his trade value, I guess.
What would you do, though? Like, post-bye, you get Caldwell back. Are we missing another midfielder? Oh, we get McGrath, but
Parish.
Who would you play there? Oh, yeah, Parish. Who would you play in the CBA mix?
I am still a fan of Caldwell in the middle. I still don't think he's obviously been out of form up until his injury, but I'm still a fan of him in the centre bounce personally. But I'm probably not jumping off Sardis just yet.
But, like, is there room for him? Because, like, would you stop playing Sullivan Roby in there, or Durham or Dyson Sharp at the expense of giving Sardis a better shot? Because that's already 4. So basically we're relying on injury to keep him in the side.
Rotation, and rotation. But the thing is, Sharp and Roby you can send forward on rotation. Sardis, unfortunately, can't. So, yeah, I think he should be given a game to bounce back from this game, because this one was particularly bad. The last couple he's been good, not perfect. Don't misunderstand me. But if he puts in another game like he did today against the Kangaroos, for example, you'd be seriously questioning it. Yeah, I don't know that Caldwell's ready to come back. Is he? No. Oh, he's 2 weeks away, so he won't be a problem. Darcy Parish probably comes back in for Kanga's game.
Yeah, I'm hoping with Caldwell. Last year he was much better than he was this year. He's looked off it the entire year, but I think his injury, it's a nose injury, right? And it said he's had issues with it the entire season.
Not the entire season. When did pretty sure it was Setterfield who accidentally got him at training in the nose. Was it round 4, round 5? It was early in the season, yeah. And he played. It was before we travelled because he couldn't travel home.
For the Melbourne game?
Could have been, yeah, might have been. He played with a broken nose or a banged up nose. Yeah.
Okay.
Round 4 maybe.
Because I think that Caldwell, at his best, like Brisbane last year, third quarter, 17 touches, they just can't stop him. I'm thinking we haven't really seen that from him this year, and I'm hoping that this injury that's affected him for most of the season was just stopping his aerobic capacity and stopping him be the best that he could be. And I'm hoping we see a good back end of the year for Caldwell. Otherwise, I start to question whether he's a long-term fit in the midfield rotation.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's also showed in that injury that he's quite proficient at forward. So he's another who can rotate forward as well if we have to. But, yeah, be interesting to see the juggle. But unfortunately, at Essendon, we never have the worry because an injury is not far away. So we haven't had to worry too much about it. Oh, I've just remembered that. I've just remembered about Archie Roberts.
He's been so good, man. He would have won the Crichton if he stayed. Well, I think he'll get ruled out for the season, but I hope he's not. And if he if he plays through it, I think he'll win the Crichton. But what a gut punch, man.
Yeah. Yep. It's painful because they're the guys. All the guys that you want games that we need to get games into now are the ones that are going down. But anyway, we're not the only ones. Every team has injuries. But yeah, it's just nothing's going to plan, is it?
I'm really hoping we do not cop an injury to Tom Edwards in the VFL game tomorrow. He's the one. If he gets injured, because Harry Jones, he's doing nothing. He did nothing today. He did nothing last week. Tom Edwards, he's looked solid. If we lose him before the bye, it'd be the ultimate gut punch.
Yeah. If we lose any more, I don't think we can lose any more.
Oh, have we equaled our injury list from last season or not yet?
Not quite. 18 at the worst. It was 18 on the injury list last year. Last week we're at 16, so we're not quite there yet. But I think that's close enough. I don't need to go any further. If you're listening,
wait, so we're at 17?
16.
But with Langford too.
Yeah, but we'll be getting a couple back. So,
man, I haven't seen a run like this. I know West Coast was bad, but this is bad. Yeah. This is really, really bad. And we brought in the guy that's apparently solved West Coast issues, and it's still so bad. And I know it's only been half a season, but I don't know. Is it just some of these players are just injury prone? They're just flat out injury prone, which is just causing more issues. I don't know.
Well, a lot of these injuries are bad luck, contact injuries. Now with Langford's quad, not many of them have been soft tissue injuries. Oh, I'm really freaking gutted about Langford. He was one of the ones who was really, really kind of looking strong in terms of his body after being interrupted the last handful of seasons. So that's really shit for him.
And I thought he played well today. I think he looks a lot better in defense than he does anywhere else this season. And he played there again today, and I thought he looked solid.
Yeah, I thought he again continues to have a commanding presence down back. He's very confident in himself, and it's a difference. It's how Pryor is playing. It's a commanding confidence in yourself that you're going to make a tackle, you're going to take a mark, and it's a different energy altogether. So, we know it can't keep going on. You're right, Joe. So we'll get a handful of. We've got I think 5 or 6 1-weekers to come back, including the captain. Who else is on there? Kako, that's the big one. Unwin will come back, obviously, potentially, assumingly through the VFL. Clark will come back through the VFL. Darcy Parish as well. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Enjoy your week off, Noah.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for joining. Great
You
to chat
need
to
the
you.
week off. You're
I
the
do.
therapist for the rest of us.
I know. The therapist needs some therapy, and then I'll be back ready to go for the rest of the season. Thanks for jumping on.
Good
See you
luck,
later,
man.
Noah. Bye. Good to see Noah. All right, let's chat to Charlie. I'm back for the VFL.
Hello, how you going?
Please put me on mute.
Oh, sorry. We've got you on in the background, so.
Oh, that's jarring every time. I hear that, but I love the support as always. Hello, team. Hello, how's my favourite family? Sophie, Clinton, how you doing?
You should have heard Charlie's response to, is it Noah?
Yeah.
When Noah said that Harry was no good.
Because Harry's my favourite.
Harry Jones.
It's like,
Don't
hold up.
Don't read the chat tonight. Don't read the chat tonight. It's not being kind to Harry.
Yeah, look, it's his second game back, you know, and like I said on the train home, he's probably going to get a spell in the resis. Edwards will probably come in, but yeah, unfortunately, that's just what will happen.
He probably needs. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. Supporters are going to get impatient. That's just natural, I guess. But then when Edwards comes in and does similar things, you know.
Yeah. I agree with what Lockie's just said, that I think the zone just doesn't work. Like we were quite high up today with where we were sitting. We're sitting on the wing like before, and it's just so visually just doesn't work, the zone, when you're sitting that high and you can see the whole ground, because you've got like 3 Melbourne players on either side that are just completely free that they can just run the ball up the ground, and then that's it.
Yeah.
It
We're
just
either
doesn't-
getting sucked up to the ball, and then they get out the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
I mean, they made the MCG wide, so they actually go right around and come around in behind us to their forward line, and that often today it was that was pretty you could see that happening quite a bit, and that And
How do we fix that?
I don't think we play zone. I think we try and the man defense, but I feel like we haven't tried that in a long time. You know, it could be a Dean Solomon thing. He's made a lot of coaching switch ups, so if he makes that his thing and it works, that could be quite good. But you never know. I don't think there's no answers.
I mean, we have a training ground that's the size of the MCG, so they need to make it wider. You know, they need to have their players out wider than just like 5 meters off the square line sort of thing. They have to be further out to the side of the ground.
It's so weird because, like, I watched them do that specifically at training this week, and for the first time, it looked like we were actually making the ground big at training. But it's also an indictment to being allowed to do that at training and not being able to replicate that on game day against better opposition, because it just shows how bad the defence was on the opposition at training. So the Essendon players defending them, that they were allowed to do that. And honestly, time and time again, it was taking maybe 2-3 possessions to get it from the defensive half to the forward 50 at training. I've not seen that once. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but maybe we did it twice this year, twice today.
Yeah. Harry Jones was one of them.
Yeah.
He took the mark.
He was.
Kicked it into space
That's
for
great.
Dyson run onto, and then he kicked it to
Great.
Harry.
That was a great play. No. Who was it? Ben?
Yeah. Well,
Sharp gut run. Sharp, you're right, Clinton. Well done. Gut run to get on the end of that, and Harry sold the candy, bought a second a time, and then executed the kick. And Dyson Sharp didn't have to break stride.
No.
Even our handballs high and even when they're lateral, they're high. So the player, even if he's coming in to keep running forward, he's got to stop and prop and get a high handball. The technique is not great.
Not great. And also they're handballing to stationary people. You're always told at training, don't handball to a stationary player. They've always got to be on the move to get the handball on that. There's no run from behind as well. that as I think Greg said that, or someone else said that earlier. There's no run from behind to get the handballs, and that. Yeah.
So do you think it's just we don't have the players?
It's more like the system, I guess. The players coming from behind, training them to run from behind. Mason Redmond is the only one who really sort of does it, and that. But even every now and then he doesn't do it because he's not there or something.
Do you think they need to listen to Simon Madden then a little bit more?
It was a good rev up. It was a good rev up speech. I said to Clinton that is he getting in the processes of Andrew Welsh's whatever his plan is to get people in, because that was a good
speech. One. He's a teacher, so
and he if you ever meet him or have the honor of speaking to him, you could chat to him for 3 hours, and in the one spot he will not let you leave. He's one thing he does very well is speak well, and he loves the club. So it was good, and he had some good advice. But I love the part about more just being everything you do being for your teammates and not going inward. And we go into self-preservation mode a lot. And that's because I just think they're not grounded and centered in their minds.
Yeah.
I almost felt that he was kind of looking at Zach Merritt when he said that. Like when I was watching it, is that I
didn't look at where his eyeballs were looking.
I don't think he actually was, but I think, in my opinion, that's a very it's something that he needs to listen to though, because it's I messaged you last week immediately after the game that the Zach Merritt was just that last quarter from him was awful, and he was playing for himself. He wasn't playing for the team. He was playing to get his own
validation.
Yeah, I was fairly sure. I was I don't know if it was just my personal bias, but I was I reckon that's directed a little bit.
And did he say something like, don't play football or don't do football,
but play it?
Play it? And I'm quite he's quite analytical, isn't he?
I did I wrote this article the other day, and it was ranking the best Essendon players that I've seen in my generation, and I didn't have Zach Merritt number one, and it got a bit of backlash.
It got published, Fiona. All your beautiful Bomber people should totally read it.
Zero hanger. It was through.
Oh, lovely. Send me the link, of course. I'll post it.
I'll see if I can.
Did you? I mean, not right now. Not right. Don't send it to me right now.
Yeah.
In the middle of a show, but send it to me after you get off. So who did you have at number one?
Joe Watson.
Oh, well, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Dyson Heppel number 2, and then Zach Merritt number 3. But
people unhappy?
Yeah, people like Merritt should be number 1, but he's just not.
No,
he's not. And I wrote that he's not because he's doesn't have the passion, doesn't have the not a team player.
Vanilla.
Doesn't bleed red and black like guys like Dyson Heppel and Joe Watson do.
Yeah.
So I think that that's what I got from that speech from Simon Madden this morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was it's a good read. That's for sure. Definitely.
It's a great read. Everyone, all the Bomber fans should read it.
Absolutely, we will. I will repost it and post it. Noah asks, where was Hooker? We could use a bit of him right now. Where was he in the list?
I think I gave him a shout out in the honourable mentions. I think, but he wasn't on there. I'll after we hop off, I'll put it in the chat and then. But
yeah, even better. Pop the link in the chat and everyone can check it out.
Yeah, but it's
No. So anyway, with the players today, I did ask Charlie after the game, where is Farrow going to fit in our future thing? I don't think he's like an actual backman. I think is he meant to go into the centre eventually or on the wing? What do you think, Fiona? What do you think he's going to end up being?
I definitely think he's going to go into the midfield. He's too good not to. I think his qualities are too good to not be used around the ball and delivering the ball. You know, we lack quality in that space, and he has it. I think the evolution of his game, we'll see him on the wing first and then integrated in slowly into the midfield a bit more. But yeah, but then Archie Roberts also has to make his way into the midfield at some point, I think. So yeah, slow but steady.
I think what I see from Jacob Farrow for the next couple of years is that it's almost like the Zach Merritt role that he's been playing the past few weeks. It's kind of like a quarterback where you've got a midfielder but who's behind the play. They're not necessarily a defender, but they're just a midfielder who's sticking behind the play. So if it goes one way, they're there and then can deliver the ball. So it's kind of a hybrid, not someone who's on the half back, but it's kind of the middle between a midfielder and a half back. And it's kind of like it's a new sort of position that's sort of been invented in the past 2 years, where you've got your guys who are midfielders just playing a little bit behind and then can deliver the ball up the ground. And so I think that's what you need for someone like Farrow, who's got such a good kick on him that he can do that.
Yeah, and I think his intercepting and reading of the play is also very handy down back. So we, need two of him, because you need those skills coming out of half back as well, and in this running game. But we have guys like Zach Johnson as well, is going to be very good in that space. I mentioned Kondo. Artemis is the other one who, we'll watch him tomorrow, but they'll want to come on there too. So we've got a few who we can run through there.
And what do you think of Harry Jones, Fiona? Don't crush Charlie. Don't crush his dreams.
I won't crush. I am no crusher of dreams here. But look, I think he's got to be. I know this won't be popular, but he's got to be afforded a bit more time. I think. We just don't know yet what he is or who he is or what he can be, because he's had 2 games back from after 400 days. We'll see. I'm not yet convinced. I'm going to be honest. I'm very sorry. So he's got to convince me rather than prove me right in a way. But I'm not discounting that he can, and he should be putting his best foot forward. So, yeah, I know he didn't have many possessions today. It wasn't a great game, but I don't think the position is doing him any favours either.
There you go. Can you see that? That's years ago.
Thrilled. You look thrilled. There looks like there's a gun to your head there, Charlie, being held there.
I was in so much shock. I was trying to get a photo really quickly, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God. This is
we need to work on updating that.
This is
I know. And he's his mates have got him the happy birthday, Charlie, pretty much every year. So.
Yeah, those videos.
Sometimes
yes, the swish.
Yeah, the swish ones. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not available because he's not playing for us. So.
Yeah.
Poor Charlie.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, we'll definitely have to work on getting an updated picture, all right, in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we've got plenty.
Sure.
Don't worry.
Oh, good. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Good to see all your faces. Take care. Have a week off. See you in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Wholesome. Favorite Bomber family. All right, let's have a quick chat to Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hi. I would say I'm not a fan of today's game at all. Only the third quarter. The rest was pretty disappointing, especially the first half. Always been saying what Joe was saying earlier in terms of being competitive, having putting in the effort for all 4 quarters, say the Suns game, GWS game, also even last week, we played better than today against the Blues.
Yeah. Opposition is better though.
They didn't the first half, Cozzy Pickett just pretty much tore us apart.
Yeah. You're right.
That was so quick, literally when he gave the ball, to their forwards and that. Also, his cousin wasn't playing. Is it Latrell Pickett?
Yep.
yeah, he was out. Yeah, it's just I don't know why Ben Mackay didn't compete for the ball. Like, remember, it was about to go out, and it was called last disposal because one of ours kicked it towards the boundary.
I thought that was called insufficient intent. I'm pretty sure it was called insufficient intent because he didn't cover himself in the back line. He's conditioned to get it over the line, and he just didn't put enough effort into keeping the ball in. I'm pretty sure the umpires called it insufficient intent. I could be wrong though. I thought that's what the commentators were saying on the replay too.
Because when you kick it out, isn't it that's called last disposal, isn't it? The new rule?
Between the arcs, yep.
So I thought that's what the reason.
Okay, last touch, you're right. But so why were the commentators talking about that he made no effort to keep it in? Is that that's because he forgot the lasso rule and he should have taken.
It wasn't that far away from him. It wasn't that far away from him. He could have like.
So what's happened to insufficient intent then? Because that to me was more. He should have kept it in. Like he escorted the ball over the line. That is clearly not enough intent to keep it in. That rule has died now.
Yeah, all the rules have been up up in the air. Yeah, I just on the coaching thing, I don't think John Longmire would want to come to Essendon because they asked him last year about what makes a good sort of like a winning team, and first thing he said was like a good culture, meaning all the way up at the top, like say like the board, list management, coaches, and then that's what will sort of like motivate the teams, the players, to be better than that. And so like I don't know if we have like a good culture at Essendon.
I think it's safe to say we don't.
Yeah. It's like you say our coach is going to be our next premiership coach, and then a few weeks later, you give him the sack. It's not a good culture at all. And
but he can be part of the legend who fixes that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think they just they still want that, like the Essendon people, that's why I say like, give Hurd the job for the sake of giving her the job, because if you give it to someone else, the Hurd campaign will just still go on and on and on, bring back Hurd, even if we are going good, and yeah, and even if Hurd gets the job, they'll still like him regardless if we're in a bad spot or not. So it's kind of like a closure thing more than a to progress the football club or not. That's how I see it.
That's fair. Yep.
Even a few media people see it like that as well, But yeah, hopefully we're not in this position next year, because I think this year's worse than last year. Last year we had like 6 wins, so far we had. This year's only been 1, and if we're trying to pitch to say say to free agent out of contract players, what are we going to pitch, Like, when they said they've been talking to, say, Jed Walter,
Mm-hmm.
what are we going to say to him to make him want to come, to Essendon,
It just that's what happens when you're bottom of the ladder.
Yeah.
West Coast Kangaroos went through it as well, you struggle to attract talented coaches.
Yeah, even talented coaches like Longmire, why would he want to come?
Because he has been here before, and he knows what it takes. And even though we are bottom of the ladder, there is a cohort of young talent here that Blind Freddie can see is going that there's something there to work with, and he is
Then again, you'll have that Herd campaign saying, they should have got James Herd.
John Longmire doesn't care about that.
Yeah.
But
it'll still be like, I'm saying it'll still be going on and on, because this time, we had, like the media and everything was so loud about it this time compared to last time.
But that's an us problem. Again, I'm just repeating myself. That's an us problem. We've got to be better than that. We cannot be a club that is controlled from the outside. I don't personally want to barrack for a club that is. There's no respect in that. It makes me wonder if that's why, if that's why we have not gone anywhere for 20 years. Because Geelong, Sydney, Hawthorn don't have that problem. They go through processes and hire the best people for the job, and build a strong culture and continue the culture through the decades and through the generations, and maintain that culture. And that's what's alluring from John Longmire, to bring what he did at Sydney to Essendon. So that's just how I see it. We'll always have Blind Freddie chat.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can.
And this, and also, this is another point that I agree with. If we win a couple of games under a new coach, then the Herd talk is gone, because ultimately all fans want is not necessarily one specific person. They want to win. They want to win games of football above everything and anything else. We can bond. We can all bond over that one fact. All we care about is winning games of football. I don't care who gets me there. So that will do just as good for the culture and the rapport and the, respect of the fans. So that's how I see it.
And when you win games, your club gets confident, like, better media talk, more
effect.
Like, say, better, like, free agent, like, players who are out of contracts would want to come, have an eye at your club, to want to come, whereas like this, nobody would want to come to us now,
Yeah, and that's on us as well. We have to build back that respect. Nobody, this quick fix, this messiah, this being saved, that's not how it works in life, in business. You do the work, you buckle down, you strip it down to its core, you build it block by block, and you earn the respect back from the competition and from everybody else, from good players in the competition, and then you earn the right to play in front of big crowds and amazing supporters and in big games. That's just my personal view anyway.
Yeah. How'd you see Ridley's game today?
Yeah, we haven't really spoken about Ridley.
Quiet, do you reckon?
Yeah,
it wasn't.
I don't
really,
know. Uncharacteristically.
Yeah.
Not invested. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think we're sort of like relying more on Ben Mackay more when we're kicking it into the forward now, for him to mark the ball on that rather than Caddy, since like Mackay's been put in the forward line. That's how I'm looking at it.
Well, if that can only help Caddy, I think, take a bit of the pressure off him. And I think Ben Mackay's doing a good job at that. He's taking the marks mostly, and obviously nobody can complain. Surely nobody's complaining about his goal kicking. Please, like he's played down back all his career. He'll a few more games. He'll find the flow.
Needs to practice more of it, to get better.
I think he's got a reasonably sound technique, but I think he's just got to find the flow is how I see it for him. But he'll get there hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
Okay.
Thanks for jumping on. Great insight. Okay. Have a good week off.
Yep. You too.
See ya. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Oh, Pat. Thank you for the 5. Whoever we select as coach, I hope everyone gets behind the appointment. I know I can only speak for myself that I will, but I'm not sure some will. Shout out to Blind Freddy. Yeah, we'll always have that. All right, let's bring it home with Noel. Hello, good man.
Yeah, g'day. There's the turtle chips, by the way. That's what they look like. That's those turtle chips.
What flavour are they?
They're chocolate. They're the chocolate Spanish donut.
The churros.
Yeah, not meat.
Oh my God, my mouth is salivating. I want one.
They're very nice. And the Twisties pickled onion ones aren't bad either. Pickled onion Twisties. Yeah.
Pickled onion.
Yeah. Well, they're very popular in the UK with pickled onion chips. But as my friend said, pickled onions are the things you throw away out of your hamburger. So she wasn't impressed either.
Do you know, as I've gotten older, always when I was younger, the pickles would go. But as I've gotten older, I've acquired a taste for a pickle.
Yeah, I don't mind them at all. Well, let's look at a couple of things first. Pryor, another great game from Pryor. Ever reliable up there. I thought he was great. Centerfield, fantastic game from him. And when the rain came down, even better because he likes to play in the rain. Redmond was much better this week.
Yep,
much better game from Redmond.
Yes.
People are giving a bit of a hard time to Brian. I thought didn't do much around the ground. Needs to work on that. But he matched Gawn in hit-outs for the majority of the day. Direction maybe not so good. But is that the midfield's fault not reading him, or is that come down to other things?
It's an interesting conversation. Yeah.
Sardis, some of those disposals were what we expected from him. But as I said, we persist with him now. Give him a few more games and you can trade him out. Because that's what, yeah. But what have we got in the VFL that can replace much? We haven't really got much, have we?
To replace who? Who specifically?
For anyone at the moment, because Langford's doubtful for next week.
Yeah.
Roberts is going to be not going to be playing. So yeah.
Well,
does Jerian finally get a game?
No, not above Edwards, and probably not above Jones at this point. So that's where we have depth in terms of replacing Langford. Oh shit, good question.
Yeah,
nobody off the injury list is in that position, and in terms of replacing Roberts, probably Kondo.
Yeah, you've got Kondo. I was looking at the under-18s. Apparently, Artemis has a brother who's playing West Australia, and 26 possessions, had a big game or something. It looks a likely type. Okay. And a guy called Sneed was the another player who played quite well. So I don't know if everything Essendon boy knows much about those, because he's a WA boy, isn't he?
I'm sure. Oh no, Felix is a SA boy.
SA boy, but he follows a lot of that, doesn't he?
He does. He'll be across all the draft. Yeah.
Yeah, I think his name's Jason Artemis. So because I saw his name on the list to go, oh, is he playing? Oh no, it's his brother. So there, so there we go. So potential. I've been doing some research on my for my book. I was looking at twins. There's been a lot of twins in the AFL. I was really surprised at how many. And there's currently quite a lot of twins at the moment, including in the AFLW. There's a couple of sets of twins. And of course, we've got the Scott twins, Brad and Chris. And we've had, so I thought it was unusual, but not as unusual as it made out. The most interesting one was back in 1909, a set of twins both played just one game. So they managed to get one game each going back. So, but yeah, anyway. So what do we think? We've got a bye this week. How many injuries do we get during the bye? It happens every year, doesn't it? It happens every year, doesn't it?
Haven't we had enough? Yeah, it does. It does. But yeah, we've had enough.
Yeah, I mean, can someone pray to the football gods and send him up some tricksters or something? Because Robert's getting injured. Yeah, enough. Please, can somebody?
Yeah. The end of my emotional stability here. No.
Yeah. It's not been good. I thought we had a fair chance today. We kicked 7 points in the last quarter. People forget that 7 behinds in the last quarter. A couple of those were rushed, but you can all have a go at Mackay. Caddy is paid to be a forward. Learn to kick a goal, son. Kick straight. I saw him at training practicing all day. Well, get that practice and put it on the field. I don't understand why you key forward and you can't kick. Really.
We need to get him some higher percentage placement. Like we need to get him taking his shots from 30 meters directly in front or just 20 meters out. He's just constantly just pushed up against
his fault. It's his fault. He leads into those places and then we kick it to him. Or
he does.
He runs under the football. When he is in a good position, he'll run under the ball. He's got a fair bit to learn about that part of the craft because there's plenty of potential there. There's plenty of potential there.
Yep.
But we don't give the ball to him properly. He doesn't lead to the right spots. And when he does lead, kick it over his head. Now, let's give Perkins played pretty well. I thought Perkins was good. Coxie had a good game. That goal he kicked, him and Roby kicked those 2 goals in the third quarter.
Delightful.
Absolutely. But again, holding the ball, turns it over, they get a goal, and that's the end of the ball game. I mean, I hear Damien Hardwick having a bitch about umpiring.
Indeed.
Saying that, having Geelong getting a fair shake. Well, Geelong had a bitch about it last week, so the umpires looked after him this week. That's how it works, doesn't it? We should be bitching in the paper more. Our coach should be getting up and complaining about umpiring, and then maybe we'll get some umpiring go our way the next week because we never do. I think it was.
I think we've got a few dubious ones today. Actually, I would prefer them to just give us the ones that are there rather than some bullshit ones. Just because I don't know, they feel like they have to even up the ledger or something.
Yeah, and 50-metre penalties. You don't give the ball back. We kick the ball away. That's a 50-metre penalty. But
that rule's dead. That's not paid for anybody, Noel. That rule has died.
I know. And yet they'll pay a 50-metre penalty if you wave your hand in the wrong spot. Because I think that happened a couple of times, both sides. But look, I also liked Wicker's game too. He likes to take a grab, doesn't he? Yeah, he almost pulled down the mark of the year again. The old hyphenator. And El Haka, hey.
El Haka was good again, but you know what? Like he was good, right? But he was doing the Kako problem. This is why we need Kako back ASAP or Jaden Ewan ASAP. He's just pinging, goes to player, the ping pong, trying to pressure plays. He cannot do it all. So at some point, another player has to help him and push up to the contest and actually help him pressure the players because the ball is pinging around and he's just going and trying to pressure and slow it down, but he can't do it all. So we need Cax back.
Is he one of those? Is he one of those players that is going to be minimal position getter?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not.
But if we can get
gonna,
if we can get it down there, if we can get it down there enough, maybe not.
A bit like a Rioli, you know, pick up with 3 or 4 goals a game from 7 or 8 possessions, and you're doing your job, aren't you? If you're doing that, but we had at least we're getting some small forwards down there, which is what you're always screaming for. Yeah, getting those small forwards down there. Because I had a look. I was watching. I think it was a Thursday game. The amount of small forward goals you saw. That's what we need. But every team seems to play the same kind of football. You know, the run and carry, the handball. You know, but some teams just can't pull it off. Melbourne weren't that impressive to me. I don't know whether you thought they were impressive. I didn't think they were that impressive.
That's a good call. I didn't think they were at their fiery best. I think their skills, I think we probably brought them down to our level a little bit at times. We tend to do that.
Or did they have the attitude that this was going to be a piss easy win? Because to me, I heard Hinkley say it on the radio. He felt the attitude of Melbourne. He thought maybe that they were breezing through and thought this was going to be a fairly. He didn't like their attitude all day. He made reference to it several times, and I think the coach had a bit of a go at them as well. Because to me they seemed to we're doing enough. Plus they had the game on the Monday, so maybe they're trying to reserve their energy a little bit. But I wasn't. I saw them on Monday against Collingwood. I didn't think they were that impressive. You got 2 or 3. If it wasn't for Pickett, keeping him in the game against Collingwood too.
Early, early, and he was he got off the chain early. So did Max Gawn. To be fair, I thought Brian probably did much better the longer the game went on, but I thought Max Gawn and Cozzy did a lot of the damage, particularly Max Gawn early.
Since when's Max Gawn been able to kick 60 metres? Get out of here! 60-metre goal.
That was a beautiful goal. Yeah, that was beautiful.
And Melksham kicking one from the boundary line from that. They picked up a coffee on the way through.
Yeah.
You know you're going to lose when they kick those goals.
No chance.
Any chance you had. But look, I wasn't overly disappointed with how we played. I thought we saw some effort. But again, they don't start well. We start well. Yeah. If we started like we started the third quarter, in that first quarter, much better opportunity. We just don't start well, and that's a problem. I mean,
needs to be investigated ASAP.
Simon Madden can't get you up. Guys played for over, second most games for the football club, probably the greatest ruckman to play for Essendon, and he can't get you up.
We shouldn't need ex-players to get us up. No other club in the competition relies on ex-champions to get them up. We need to be able to get up. Our emotional neutrality has to be the emotional platform of these guys has to be neutral to then be able to get up. We can't be riding on emotion. It's not sustainable, and we shouldn't be a club that works that way. We can be inspired by them, but not require it,
And my little take on the Neil Danaher thing, I thought he played for Essendon. It just seemed to be a constant Melbourne thing. Even the funeral, no Essendon people got up and spoke. There was not one person from Essendon other than his brother. Kevin Sheedy didn't have a chat. Kevin Sheedy didn't speak at the funeral, which he was there. So what? So he played because he was a great bloke that he was. I met the man. He was a lovely guy. He was always very accommodating to chat to people. But I just wondered, is he just? They just seem to be Melbourne centric. Even at the game, it was very Melbourne centric. Because that really should have been an inspiration for the boys as well to play well. So I don't know if with the young players really know much about the old players, where they actually care.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, but that.
But I don't hold that against them either. I don't hold that against them personally.
No, but then again, I've met young people who've never heard of the Beatles, so what can you say?
It's going to get more and more. It's going to get more and more common the longer we go.
No, and you have to put the radio on. They're always getting played somewhere, aren't they? But yeah, look, for me, I thought there's some signs. Roby's getting better every week. I think Sharp's got we've got some talent there.
He's back.
Yep. And the thing that Hinkley also mentioned was he wondered what the value of Merritt on the back line is for the team overall. Mm-hmm. Because when Merritt went into the midfield, we looked a lot better in the third quarter. But as he said, they're playing Merritt in a different position because we want to try Sharp, we want to try Roby and Sardis and these guys, see what we've got, because they're the future. Merritt's not the future. So,
and he's going to be gone in 3 months. So there's no point us putting him in the middle. I didn't see a point in that. What are we getting out of that to save a bit of scoreboard, a bit of the scoreboard? I prefer just put Sharp, Roby, Farrow even. He trained there over summer. Put him in for 1 or 2. Roberts.
I think they were hoping that Merritt's ball skills would be able to help out a bit and be more creative. But Centerfield was doing that job quite well.
Yeah.
As I said, you've got Caldwell to come back. So you've got Parrish to come back. So we've got plenty of midfield options. So where does Merritt fit in the scheme of things? He's going to play in the back pocket. He's not going to play in the VFL.
No. Do you think he'd be better up forward?
Well, they tried him there too, haven't they? They've tried him as a half.
They have. Yeah,
they've tried him as a half. And he's in that similar vein. He's a midfielder who can't really play him as a half forward. Whereas you can do that with Sharp and with Roby and so on. But now what do you think of Dersma's game?
He had a terrific third quarter, a really, really impactful third quarter, defensively very good. I think he's lost a bit of his attacking flair, personally. I don't know whether by instruction or by just has happened. What did you think?
Yeah, well, he's surprisingly good overhead, isn't he? He's got a very good mark.
Yeah, always has been, yeah.
And took a couple of telling marks. He made a couple of blunders with the footy early, but his third quarter really, I think that probably saved him a little bit because he had a very good defensive run, spare man in defence.
Like the way I see a winger's role and how, even Langdon and Sharp as in the Melbourne Sharp who play on the wing, they're very involved in the transition of the football up the ground. And I just don't feel like Dersma is doing that as much as he used to. But defensively, when he gut runs back into defence to help the defenders out, he's always impacting. He's always saving a goal or two or, bailing out a defender. So
and as was mentioned earlier, we don't have that running carry defender, do we? You take the ball out of there. Other than Redmond, Pryor does it a little bit. But we don't have it. Even Farrow's kicking starting to fall into Essendon's sloppy hands, as I noticed a few times. But he and Nick Cox seem to have quite a good symmetry between them. They teamed up quite a lot.
Okay.
Farrow and Cox teamed up quite a bit across coming out of the back line. But Farrow's a midfielder, I think. Well, potentially a midfielder at some stage. But I see Caddy as a bit like Matthew Richardson of Richmond. There's a lot of the Matthew Richardson could be very iffy when it comes to having a shot for goal. So that you've got similar, but he's got that size and he could be I think he just needs to maybe try not to do too much. I think sometimes he overdoes it. He's trying to take the big mark and jump into this and get the set back, give an opportunity to get yourself behind the ball or back of the pack. But yeah, I thought our marking was okay defensively. We've held the team to less than 100 points. So that was so Solomon's
we had our lowest scoring of the year, lowest score of the year.
But Solomon's a defensive coach, and it's clear you can see that. He's worked on the defense, and the defense has been a lot better.
The team defense?
Yeah, I think it's been a lot better team defense. We see we're panning back, more. We're covering the defensive line, but we've got no one to kick to when we come out of the forward line. That's where we're falling down. We haven't got.
But that's the balance. That was the argument in the first quarter. In the second quarter, we were flooding. We were flooding players back, and then having no offensive, recall back the other way.
And their forward line didn't function. Yeah, well, their forward line didn't function very well. Fritz had a very ordinary game. We kept him very quiet.
Van Ruin didn't kick a goal in the end, did he? I don't think Van Ruin kicked a goal. I think Reid did really well on him.
Yeah, so I think we did pretty well when it comes to that. They got their goals from.
Oh no, he did kick. One. He got a goal from a free kick. It was Reid, and I remember because you saw a bit of fire in Reid. He spoke back very gently, I may add, to the umpire. He's very well mannered and quite introverted, Reid. But I think when he gets a little bit up and about, that's how you know it was probably a little bit unfair.
And we get ping holding the ball when 3 blokes tackled you. 3 blokes are on top of the guy, and we'll pay that holding the ball, and yet. That late one was it third quarter. The late tackle, beautiful tackle brought down. Oh, it's called that play on. So yeah, but umpiring makes no difference. Yeah, we always say that.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
But they can change momentum, and that's when it can be a bit of a difference. Sometimes the momentum can change. You get a little bit of confidence. They kick a goal from a turnover, but we've got to work on turnovers. We've got to work on disposal. There's a lot of stuff, but the kids are pretty good, So there's something we can look.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. There's a song by Half Man, Half Biscuit. The light at the end of the tunnel is the light of an oncoming train. So maybe the light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe it's our senior players that have let us down a lot, and I thought they were a bit better.
I will say, as I know it's a lot of doom and gloom and negativity at the moment, and I'm not necessarily apologising for that. That's just how it is, right? That's just where we are. We're not winning. That requires some negative pulling apartness. However, I will say that at the end of this process, at the end of the circus, there is going to be a new coach appointed, a fresh new start, a fresh platform laid, fresh plans, a fresh direction. So there is that to look forward to, because with that we'll bring natural hope for the future, and we'll go into the off season with a whole heap of new coaches on the team, some new players, draftees, and we'll step into the preseason, under a different guise, and that's exciting for me, and we can all take a bit of a deep breath.
Exactly. And Half Man, Half Biscuit, very good band from the UK. You should check them out. He was asking. All
right, before we go, Noel, Coanda wants to know, what is your favourite Beatles song, please?
Ooh,
I'm not going to know whatever you say, but
that's well, let's say Twist and Shout, because I used to sing that at karaoke. So there you go, Twist and Shout.
Never heard of it. Do I need to listen to it? Do I need to make sure I listen to it?
Oh, if you want to, yeah. John Lennon sings. Yeah, it's a John Lennon one. John Lennon sings it. Yeah, you should check out the Beatles. They weren't bad. They weren't bad back in the day. They had a couple of hits. Yeah.
I'll add it to my to a playlist, shall I?
Yeah, check out Half Man, Half Biscuit, particularly their last 2 albums. They're very British, but they're quite humorous. Dead Men Don't Need Seasons Tickets is the title of one of their songs. They've got some very funny songs. They're good.
Sorry, Atush, no radios in the Amish community.
No,
no connection to the outside world.
She doesn't have a record player. Never heard of a
No
CD.
no Walkmans, no iPods.
No, never heard of a CD.
No, don't know what that is.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, look, we get a week off. We can enjoy not watching something losing. We can do something else for change. Soccer is dull and boring. Sorry. And the argument about soccer, what is the team called? The Socceroos. The Hockeyroos play hockey. The Socceroos play soccer. End of argument. You want to call it football? Go for your life. It's called soccer because our national team call it soccer. So, and that's why we're crap at it. But anyway, that's all. Soccer's like my love life. It's pretty boring. Pretty dull. Pretty boring.
I was a bit scared of where we were going there for a hot minute. I did not know what that comparison was.
I actually cleaned it up. There's other lines to that, but I'm not going there. But okay. I cleaned it up for you.
We've been pretty clean tonight, so we'll leave it there. As always, enjoy the week off, Noel.
Enjoy the week off too, Fiona, because you need it.
Thank you, legend. Appreciate you. Appreciate everything you bring. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye, chatty people.
Catch you, Noel. Oh, gosh. Always a joy. Adam, thank you so much. Therapy fee, flower money, electricity contribution. Much appreciated. Much love, as always. All right, chat. Hit that like button, please, pretty please, and subscribe, of course, if you haven't. Thank you so much, everybody. We have gotten through 14 rounds of football with only one win, so only one little bit of joy, but brighter days ahead, that is for sure. Well, some hopeful days ahead. I'm not sure if they'll be brighter just yet, but there'll be hopeful days ahead. And I will be here throughout the entirety of that. So enjoy the week. I'll still be around the place. Maybe we'll do a cheeky live next week just to get the lay of the land of the first half of the season and check in with some other content creators as well. Enjoy tomorrow, whatever you are going to be watching. Socceroos, VFL. There was Blake Justice was a return in the Calder Cannons today. Played a pretty good first half. He had a really bad hamstring injury, but was pretty lively in the first quarter. In a couple of weeks, hopefully, Kobe Buick will be back, so we'll be able to track him as well. But Blake Justice looking really good. He's obviously available in this draft coming, so we'll see how we go with that. Thank you so much, everyone. Much love for all of your support along so far this season, but tonight as well. Take care of yourselves and be kind. At the end of the day, be kind. We all want the same thing. So nothing wrong with softening the edges a little bit. So enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.